Chapter 1761 Taking Blame Even in Death. Fixed immortal travel was finally regained. This way, even if Fang Yuan rose to rank 8 and lost future self, he did not have to worry about losing fixed immortal travel's movement method. Fixed immortal travel was a powerful movement immortal GU that was extremely useful to Fang Yuan. In the previous life, Fang Yuan deduced a killer move with fixed immortal travel as the core. Even as a rank 8, he could travel all over the world and cause great chaos. With this immortal GU, he would have incredibly powerful maneuverability. But in the previous life, Fang Yuan stole fixed immortal travel with one attempt. This time, it was truly troublesome. He used Great Thief Ghost Hand more than 10 times, a lot of immortal essence was expended. The flaw of Great Thief Ghost Hand was evident. Even though it could steal immortal GU, it would steal mortal GU in most cases. Fang Yuan stole tens of thousands of mortal GU from Feng Juzhe, but only 3 or 4 immortal GU. Next is Fate Armor immortal GU. Fang Yuan's cold gaze was fixed on Feng Juzhe. As long as he stole Fate Armor immortal GU, Feng Juzhe would be finished. Feng Juzhe continued to escape. He had never thought that he would end up in such a distressed state. Fang Yuan knows me very well. He has been trying to steal my immortal GU without attacking much. He is targeting my weakness. He knows the power of Fate Armor immortal GU. Feng Juzhe's heart sank to rock bottom, an intense chill permeated in his body. The more immortal GU he lost, the more his battle strength fell. Fang Yuan. Feng Juzhe thought about this name in his mind. Even though he had some estimation towards Fang Yuan's growth, he did not know that he would be forced to escape without a way of fighting back. Back then, Feng Juzhe was chasing after Fang Yuan from southern border to western desert. It seemed just like yesterday. Feng Juzhe could still remember clearly. But to think that now, their situations were reversed. Such immense growth. Feng Juzhe sighed in his heart. It was not that Feng Juzhe was not strong, but Fang Yuan's preparations were simply too plentiful. He did not expose his secret of rebirth. His advantage was well kept. The super formation in Langya Blessed Land was modified by Fang Yuan. It was many times stronger than in the previous life. One of the reasons was that Fang Yuan controlled Langya Blessed Land. He could mobilize all of its resources to build the immortal formation. He could also transact with the 3 variant human races. The second reason was that Fang Yuan was much stronger than in the previous life at this point in time, be it formation path or time path, he was far superior. This allowed him to create this super formation to trap Feng Juzhe and Chen Yi. At the other end, Chen Yi's eyes flickered with light. He was moving around in the illusory mazes. Damn it, I am still trapped after so long. Chen Yi was lost in the illusory mazes. Even though he moved around quickly and broke many illusions, he still felt like vomiting blood. This formation constantly refreshed Chen Yi's evaluation towards it. Fang Yuan arranged almost all the variant human GU immortals to control the formation and target Chen Yi. Even though he had great battle strength with immortal killer moves like Ancient Tree Prison Cage, Giant Tree Divine Statue, Karma Divine Tree, and others, making it very difficult for Fang Yuan to handle these superb killer moves. In the previous life, Chen Yi fought against 2 enemies alone, facing the immemorial Rock Dragon and Heavenly Giant Suller. His performance was incredible and breathtaking. But now, Fang Yuan obtained control of Langya sect entirely. He arranged the immemorial Rock Dragon and Heavenly Giant Suller to deal with Chen Yi, but the 2 were merely assisting. The main thing dealing with Chen Yi was the super formation. As Chen Yi struggled in the illusory maze, every time he had hope of breaking out, the immemorial Rock Dragon or Heavenly Giant Suller would appear to obstruct him and stall for time. Next, the variant human GU immortals would create more layers and mazes, causing Chen Yi to stay trapped indefinitely. Chen Yi's methods were all unusable as a result. Fang Yuan targeted him specifically, easily countering him. Chen Yi was very anxious now. The longer this dragged on, the more uneasy he felt. Was the Thunder Ghost True Monarch corpse earlier just an illusion? Chen Yi was not certain. He wanted to believe that it was an illusion. The reason was simple. With Thunder Ghost True Monarch's battle strength, how could Fang Yuan possibly kill her immediately? Were there other possibilities? If Thunder Ghost True Monarch was still alive, why had she shown no commotion at all after such a long time in this battle? Right now, he and Feng Juzhe were isolated. A long time had passed. How was the situation on his end? Unless, the dream realm. Chen Yi had a flash of inspiration. He did not know that Fang Yuan possessed rank 8 Steel Life Immortal GU, but he knew that Fang Yuan was skilled at using the self-detonation of pure dream reality seeker physique bodies to form dream realms and deal with strong enemies. During the battle at Yitian Mountain, Spectral Soul was captured by Heavenly Court. Afterwards, Fang Yuan was pursued by Wu Yong and Feng Juzhe. He used the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies to escape many times. Without the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, Fang Yuan would have died on the way already. Fairy Ziwei was a wisdom path great expert. Before this trip, she had already made deductions. Fang Yuan's dream realms, reverse flow river, and others were all in her consideration. The dark spiral was the tracer for star cast. It had detection abilities. If there were dream realms or reverse flow river nearby, Fairy Ziwei could sense it. In fact, Fang Yuan could not truly control the dream realm or reverse flow river precisely. Once the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies self-detonate, they would create an expanding dream realm that moved on its own. He could also only move reverse flow river mildly. Be it the dream realm or reverse flow river, as long as the dark spiral was in contact with them, star cast killer move would become unstable and fail. Fairy Ziwei only had to create a slightly larger dark spiral to test if there were dream realms or reverse flow river around it. It is stupid to only use the dream realms or reverse flow river as a trap, but what if Fang Yuan created new dream path killer moves? He has spring autumn cicada, he had been reborn from the future after all. Chen Yi thought. But the truth was, Fang Yuan currently had no dream realms with him. His pure dream reality seeker physique bodies had all been consumed. Refer to chapter 1585. Most of the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies were used when Fang Yuan was escaping his pursuers. This resulted in Fang Yuan going to southern border to snatch dream realms after the Battle of Langya Blessed Land. Later, Fang Yuan made transactions with Kai Kuyu secretly. He obtained many dream realms. His pure dream reality seeker physique bodies became a sizable number. After that, Fang Yuan ambushed Sha Cha and the rest. These pure dream reality seeker physique bodies were incredibly useful. It could be said that Kai Kuyu was the main contributor. It was because of his secret transactions with Fang Yuan that he could use all these dream realms. If he was just stealing them, the efficiency would be much lower. Chen Yi made a wrong guess. His heart became heavy. No, I must destroy this immortal formation as soon as possible. The dangerous situation made Chen Yi resolve to use his trump card killer move, Karma Divine Tree. The divine tree was lush and green. It was beautiful as a pavilion. Green smoke rose slowly as it swayed with the wind. With Karma Divine Tree above his head, all sorts of illusions and mazes were forced away within a certain area. Chen Yi could see clearly ahead of him again. The variant human GU immortals gasped. This is the Karma Divine Tree killer move that Elder Fang Yuan mentioned. The entire Super GU formation's power is being resisted by this move. The mazes and illusions cannot affect Chen Yi. Worthy of Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's killer move. During the critical moment, the immemorial Rock Dragon and Heavenly Giant Suller attacked Chen Yi. The other variant human GU immortals controlled the formation, trying to find a new way of trapping Chen Yi. Chen Yi snorted coldly. He did not fight the rock dragon or giant, he flew around, targeting the formation itself. The immemorial rock dragon and heavenly giant Suller attacked Chen Yi, but he defended passively. Karma Divine Tree displayed incredible defensive power. It blocked all of the attacks perfectly. The Divine Tree, which was quite sparse earlier, started to bear fruits quickly. These fruits flew out and landed on the immemorial rock dragon and heavenly giant Suller, causing them to endure the damage that they dealt themselves. Quickly block Chen Yi, don't let him rampage around. Fang Yuan sensed something amiss, he quickly ordered. But the variant human GU immortals were very busy, they could not use the formation's power to trap Chen Yi. As for entering the battle themselves, they would not do it. Even though they were allies, they treasured their lives. They would hide inside the formation if they could. In the previous life, they only came out after the formation was destroyed. Boom! With an intense explosion, Chen Yi hit a crucial spot. The formation space that was isolated became connected. Even though Chen Yi cultivated wood path, he was still a rank 8 great expert that could mimic other paths. After such a long time inside this super formation, he could notice some of its characteristics. Chen Yi saw Feng Juzhe and quickly shouted loudly, "Hang on, I'm coming." It turned out that Feng Juzhe was already forced into a corner by Fang Yuan. The situation was dangerous. Be careful, the enemy has a way to steal GU worms. Feng Juzhe immediately gave Chen Yi critical information. Chen Yi's body shook, he immediately thought of the contest over Divine Bean Palace. Western Desert's GU immortal Suan Bu Jin was the one who stole legendary immemorial beast Qing Chao's immortal GU using theft path. They have theft path methods too. Chen Yi shook, he frowned deeply. Now was different from the previous life. Fang Yuan did not use Emperor Yama, Chen Yi could not link the two together. There was no evidence supporting the fact that Fang Yuan was Suan Bu Jin. Theft path was actually spread to an extent in the 5 regions. Western Desert's Suan Bu Jin had theft path methods, but Langya Blessed Land had an even higher possibility of possessing theft path killer moves. After all, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had personally worked with Long Hair Ancestor and refined Ji Yu together. Chen Yi attacked while Fang Yuan snickered. He charged forward too. He activated Reverse Flow Protection Seal while preparing Luopo Seal. Fang Yuan's aura surged. 2 rank 8 killer moves. Chen Yi was deeply shocked. His pupils shrunk. One for offense and one for defense, they are complementary. Damn it. Fang Yuan and Chen Yi fought while the immemorial Rock Dragon and Heavenly Giant Suller approached Feng Juzhe. Feng Juzhe only had rank 7 cultivation level now, while a few of his immortal Ji-Yu were stolen by Fang Yuan. His battle strength had fallen greatly. Facing the attack of 2 rank 8 battle strengths, he was quickly injured and Fate Armor immortal Ji-Yu got activated. Over at Heavenly Court, Fairy Z-Wei's expression changed. Oh no. Fate Armor was activated. Feng Juzhe is in great danger. What should we do? In the previous life, Fairy Z-Wei and Feng Juzhe were separated by only Yama Battlefield. She quickly broke the battlefield killer move and saved him. But now, Fairy Z-Wei and Feng Juzhe were apart by a vast distance. Starcast was only half prepared. She could not let Feng Juzhe die. He was a Dao Guardian. Chen Yi also knew the importance of Feng Juzhe, but he was helpless. Fang Yuan was harassing him at all times. Even though Karma Divine Tree was powerful and had both offense and defense, Fang Yuan was also attacking him with 2 rank 8 killer moves. As time passed, Fate Armor Immortal Ji-Yu became dimmer and dimmer. Once the light completely faded, Feng Juzhe would die. What do I do now? Chen Yi was panicking. At this moment, he heard Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's voice in his head. Look closely, this is the consecutive move built upon Karma Divine Tree, Karma Relocation. The killer move activated. As if intense winds were blowing, the green smoke flickered as Karma Divine Tree started to sway and dance in the wind. Fang Yuan quickly stopped his killer move. He let out a sigh of relief as this killer move was finally forced out. With Karma Relocation, Chen Yi could rampage in the battlefield. Fang Yuan could only avoid him. Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe quickly gathered. Go back, these are my immortal Ji-Yu. Remember to tell the situation here to Lady Z-Wei. Take revenge for me. Chen Yi passed all the other immortal Ji-Yu that he had to Feng Juzhe. At the next moment, Karma Relocation activated as Feng Juzhe was transported away. Even with the super formation and Langya Blessed Land's aperture walls, it could not block Feng Juzhe from leaving. Karma Relocation was a rank 9 killer move after all. Feng Juzhe, you managed to escape this time, but next time will be different. Fang Yuan had a plain expression. He knew about Karma Relocation. He knew there was no way to block it. Earlier, he separated Feng Juzhe and Chen Yi because he considered this killer move. It was a pity he did not succeed. Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe were very brilliant. They had abundant battle experiences. Since Feng Juzhe escaped, you shall stay here and accompany Thunder Ghost True Monarch in the afterlife. Fang Yuan smiled ruthlessly. Chen Yi smiled plainly. Senior Thunder Ghost True Monarch was really killed by all of you. Come, even if I die, I will not go down easily. Chen Yi knew he was going to die. He completely relaxed. Even though he loved authority and status, he was still a member of Heavenly Court. Any member of Heavenly Court would not fear sacrifice or death. The process of killing Chen Yi was not easy. It was difficult and a deadlock occurred many times. But eventually, Chen Yi succumbed and Fang Yuan took his life. He did not leave behind any immortal Ji-Yu, but his remnant soul could not escape from Fang Yuan's demonic claws. The variant human Ji-Yu immortals cheered loudly in victory, but they also cried out in pain. They had severe losses. Chen Yi killed many of their companions. Fang Yuan looked at Chen Yi's corpse as he sighed deeply, as expected of Chen Yi, as expected of a Heavenly Court Ji-Yu immortal. Next, he consoled the variant human Ji-Yu immortals, showing deep sincerity and sadness. Your sacrifices were worth it. This is a glorious victory. Even a rank 8 Ji-Yu immortal died at your hands. This result will shock the world. There were only a few variant human Ji-Yu immortals left. They were all heavily injured. Oh heavens, our losses were just too severe this time. Langya Blessed Land suffered the least losses. They were all inside the formation. They were safe inside Heavenly Giant Suller. Strange, why did several layers of the formation break all of a sudden? Without it, we would not have lost so many people. Fang Yuan nodded. That must be Chen Yi's method. He is truly formidable. I did not even notice anything. The variant human GU immortals heard this, their eyes turned red and they gritted their teeth. That's right, this old scoundrel. Killing him was simply not enough. He deserves more than death. The pitiful Chen Yi had no idea that even after dying in battle, he had to take the blame for Fang Yuan. Chapter 1762 Ziwei's attack. Fang Yuan, you should have a look, those Dao marks are changing again. The moment the battle ended, Langya Land's spirit transmitted to Fang Yuan. What? Fang Yuan was surprised. He quickly left the heavily damaged super formation as he arrived at the source of the change. Feng Juzhe had left behind harmful Dao marks in many places, but the dark spiral that formed earlier was the densest. Right now, the other areas with fewer Dao marks started to experience a change. These Dao marks gave off pale blue light, they were like stars in the sky, extremely dazzling and bright. Fang Yuan took a look, his face turned dark. It could actually change like this. He had Wisdom Path Foundation and Star Path Attainment, he knew what this change was going to do. It seems that Feng Juzhe went back to Central Continent directly using Karma Relocation, or he even went back to Fairy Ziwei directly. Thus, she obtained some information. They reacted so quickly, Fang Yuan was feeling slight regret. In the battle earlier, he should not have stalled for time to create a situation where both sides suffered losses. He should have attacked directly and killed Chen Yi without caring for the immortal essence expenditure. But the truth was, even if he did that, it would not be much faster. Karma Divine Tree was too superb, it combined offense and defense. Without the variant human GU Immortal's sacrifice, it was hard to kill Chen Yi in a short time. Fang Yuan's expression was grim. The changes in the Dao marks should be Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path great expert trying to locate the precise area of Langya Blessed Land. We need to get rid of them, it might get very dangerous. Langya Land spirit was very anxious. The dark spirals are easy to destroy but these harmful shining Dao marks are impossible to get rid of. I've already tried. What's going on? At this time, the remaining variant human GU immortals arrived with varying expressions. Fang Yuan ignored them, thoughts rumbled in his mind as he pondered at the speed of lightning. Fairy Ziwei wants to find the actual location of Langya Blessed Land, she is giving it one final attempt. Heavenly Court lost terribly this time, she is truly infuriated. Langya Blessed Land has already been relocated to Loose Tail Ridge by the land spirit, but Prince Feng Xian is likely nearby, searching for it secretly. I cannot let Fairy Ziwei deduce the true location of Langya Blessed Land, that would be a terrible situation. Once the location is exposed, not only would Prince Feng Xian attack, Heavenly Court's GU Immortals will also reinforce him endlessly. Even if Heavenly Court fails, Fang Yuan would not leave unscathed, it would be a painful victory. Heavenly Court could even go crazy and tell the location of Langya Blessed Land to everyone. This hairy man's sacred land would attract the greed of countless people. Longevity Heaven would be the first to attack. What should I do? Fang Yuan processed his thoughts rapidly. The variant human GU immortals beside him were also becoming more anxious. They got an explanation from Langya Land spirit, they learned about the severity of this situation. Heavenly Court is too scary, we only killed 2 rank 8 GU immortals after all our efforts. We are not out of danger yet. If we do not get rid of these Dao marks now, Langya Blessed Land would be exposed, we would not be able to defend this place. That's right, at this point, we can only rely on Lord Fang Yuan. Even if Langya Blessed Land could relocate, it could not make such a commotion with so many enemies outside. Everyone looked at Fang Yuan expectantly. Got it. Fang Yuan's eyes shined brightly as he shouted. You found a method? Langya Land spirit asked immediately. Quickly activate the refinement path formation, use my method to refine these Dao marks. Fang Yuan answered rapidly. In his previous life, Fang Yuan had obtained the refinement path true meaning, he learned that the way to get rid of these Dao marks was to take action when the blessed land was relocating, it could be easily solved. But thinking about it, that was a trap. Prince Feng Xian was ambushing them outside, if Langya Blessed Land moves, the commotion would expose them, Prince Feng Xian and Heavenly Court would attack. Fang Yuan's method was to use the refinement path immortal formation and a large amount of rank 8 immortal materials, as well as refinement water to forcefully refine these harmful Dao marks. In his previous life, he did not think of this method because he did not know of the refinement path formation or refinement water during his deductions. By the time he knew, the battle had ended, he stole fixed immortal travel and longevity heaven arrived, Fang Yuan had to escape. Langya Land spirit was suppressed by Fang Yuan to begin with, after getting Fang Yuan's method, there was no hesitation, he immediately activated the refinement path formation and targeted these harmful Dao marks. Rank 8 immortal materials were tossed in one by one. The variant human GU immortals had strange expressions, the hairy man GU immortals had twitching faces. So many rank 8 immortal materials. This is an immense wealth. Langya Blessed Land's foundation is actually so deep. It is simply like cabbage sold in the market. I cannot believe this. Langya Land Spirit was also feeling pained. Elder Fang Yuan, Langya Blessed Land had accumulated this after much effort. Your refinement method is too coarse, it can be improved further. Maybe we can wait a bit and improve on this method, we can save a lot of materials. No, trust me, we are in grave danger now. Even though we have no enemies here at the moment, we are not safe. We need to fight against time. Fang Yuan did not mention Prince Feng Xian, this was just part of his conjecture, he had no evidence. But Langya Land Spirit was under Fang Yuan's control, he obeyed him without question. Fang Yuan's words sounded like a suggestion but they were basically an order to him, he had to execute it. Alright, I will listen to you. Langya Land Spirit's reply was very short. Fang Yuan's expression was solemn. Come and refine these harmful Dao marks, don't feel pity for the refinement water used. I will enter the secret room and use wisdom path methods to stop Heavenly Court, nobody is to interrupt me. Anyone who disturbs me is a spy of Heavenly Court, I will kill you on the spot. Fang Yuan's gaze was filled with killing intent, he looked around as a chill emerged in all the GU immortals' hearts. After a stern warning, he entered his cloud city and went into the secret room. Heavenly Court, Central Great Hall. Fairy Ziwei sat in her usual seat as her eyes were shut, she was radiating with an intense purple light. The purple light filled the entire hall, it was like rising smoke or rushing tides, the aura was grand and magnificent. Fang Yuan's defenses were soon noticed by Fairy Ziwei. She frowned a little as she laughed coldly, want to stop me? Star Constellation Chessboard. She immediately summoned Star Constellation Chessboard to assist her. Not long ago, Feng Juzhe had returned to Heavenly Court with grave injuries but also precious information. After learning about it, Fairy Ziwei immediately understood that the dark spirals were exposed, there was little hope in using them. Thus, she changed her plan and decided to expend these Dao marks to deduce the exact location of Langya Blessed Land inside Loose Tail Ridge. I have not lost this battle yet. Fairy Ziwei held onto her belief. Chen Yi and Thunder Ghost True Monarch were likely goners, Feng Juzhe was heavily injured and had already fallen unconscious. Fairy Ziwei was responsible for this battle, she wanted to make up for her mistakes. In the previous life, Longevity Heaven had acted, they were powerful and originated from Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Even though Heavenly Court lost, Fairy Ziwei's reaction was not as severe. But now, she lost to Fang Yuan and the variant human GU Immortals, either of them made the proud Heavenly Court GU Immortals unable to accept this humiliating defeat. Like what Fang Yuan expected, Fairy Ziwei was truly angry. She tried her best, disregarding the intense backlash, to turn this situation around. Star Constellation Chessboard was a Wisdom Path Rank 8 Immortal GU house, it was extremely helpful. Fairy Ziwei quickly got the edge on Fang Yuan as her deduction speed rose continuously. In the previous life, even though Fairy Ziwei had this method, because Longevity Heaven had taken over Langya Blessed Land, there was no point even if she tried. But now, because Fang Yuan won in the absence of Longevity Heaven, Fairy Ziwei still had hope. Furthermore, Feng Juzhe had used Fate Armor earlier, even though it was a short duration, it was an important clue. Fairy Ziwei was very confident in deducing Langya Blessed Land's location and defeating Fang Yuan across space. This is bad. Fang Yuan felt a mountain pressing down on him. The activation of Fate Armor Immortal GU gave Fairy Ziwei an extremely large advantage in deducing Langya Blessed Land. Fairy Ziwei made use of this weakness, Fang Yuan could not see any hope of stopping her. Even though I have many wisdom path methods, I lack truly profound ones. Even though there was rank 9 wisdom GU, Fang Yuan could only use the light of wisdom. As for rank 8 wisdom sword immortal GU, Fang Yuan did not have rank 8 immortal essence yet. He had attitude GU, but how could Fang Yuan deduce a wisdom path method using attitude GU as the core to defend against Fairy Ziwei in this short time? There is only one final method. Resolution shined across Fang Yuan's eyes. Chapter 1763 Feng Xian, Espersui. Heavenly Court. In Central Great Hall, purple light spread out like rushing tides. Suddenly, the light stopped, it was like the river flow had encountered an obstruction. Fairy Ziwei gasped lightly as she opened her eyes. She was in the middle of deductions, her progress was smooth and success was close, but suddenly, the obstruction grew immensely. This was not an ordinary change, it was as if she had been pushing a wooden door earlier. The door was already shaking, there was a high chance of opening it. Once she succeeds, Fairy Ziwei would learn about Langya Blessed Land's location. However, this wooden door turned into a heavy iron door instantly. What happened? Earlier, Fang Yuan tried to stop me, his wisdom path methods are lacking, he could not succeed. But now he suddenly succeeded. Wait, I get it, he annexed Langya Blessed Land. Fairy Ziwei's eyes shined with bright light, she got the answer. Fairy Ziwei faced great difficulty in deducing Fang Yuan's location earlier. After Fang Yuan obtained Emperor Yama, she had no hope of success. As long as Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land, it would become part of the sovereign Immortal aperture. If Fairy Ziwei tried to deduce the location of Langya Blessed Land, wasn't she just deducing Fang Yuan's location? Thus, all of Fairy Ziwei's deductions were stopped by Fang Yuan's Emperor Yama killer move. Emperor Yama contained the power of rank 9 killer move Ghostly Concealment from thieving Heaven's true inheritance. It was a huge obstruction to Fairy Ziwei. Fairy Ziwei's thoughts flickered but her movements did not stop, she continued using several wisdom path methods. After some probing, she confirmed her guess. This is the same as the time I tried to deduce matters on Fang Yuan, it seems he really annexed Langya Blessed Land. Annexing a rank 7 Blessed Land would require Grandmaster attainment level. Fang Yuan's refinement path has Grandmaster attainment level. Fairy Ziwei found that she had underestimated Fang Yuan again. Her expression was extremely grim. Immortal apertures can only devour smaller apertures. What is Fang Yuan's immortal aperture? How can it annex that colossal Langya Blessed Land? Fairy Ziwei did not know of the sovereign immortal aperture's secret yet. She was secretly shocked because the foundation that Fang Yuan exposed was already quite unfathomable. Damn it, Fang Yuan obtained Langya Blessed Land, his foundation increased tremendously. What are these variant human GU immortals doing? They actually let Fang Yuan swallow their foundation. These idiots. Fairy Ziwei gritted her teeth, these variant human GU immortals were simply too useless. Wait, this is likely Fang Yuan's scheme. He is using these variant human GU immortals to target my heavenly court. At the same time, he is also using heavenly court to weaken these variant human GU immortals. After this battle, the variant human GU immortals must have suffered heavy losses, that's how Fang Yuan forcefully annexed them. In fact, he might have even used this threat of my deduction to trick them into agreeing with his plan. In one instance, Fairy Ziwei thought of many things. Fang Yuan left her an incredibly deep impression of being crafty and shrewd, she could not help but think of him in a bad light. Fairy Ziwei was extremely gloomy. She felt that this attack on Langya Blessed Land was simply giving Fang Yuan benefits. Fang Yuan, I will not let you succeed. Prince Feng Xian. Fairy Ziwei had anger in her eyes, she immediately contacted Prince Feng Xian who was in Northern Plains. Prince Feng Xian had already received orders, he was lurking in Loose Tail Ridge. The original plan was to cooperate with Heavenly Court's GU Immortals if there was a chance to attack Langya Blessed Land together. If Northern Plains GU Immortals noticed this, he would show up and obstruct them to stall for time. Prince Feng Xian, Fang Yuan might show up now, quickly investigate, try to stall him the moment you find him. Fairy Ziwei ordered. Understood, Prince Feng Xian said before quickly changing his tone, wait, I found him already. You are alone, be careful. Fairy Ziwei quickly said. Fang Yuan is devious and scheming, the theft path immortal GU might come from Langya sect, it could also be his. I have already sent GU immortals into Northern Plains to help you. But in the short term, you have no reinforcements. Prince Feng Xian had a solemn expression, I understand. He was a rank 8 GU immortal but he had to be so careful against a rank 7 GU immortal. But he did not feel any absurdity in this, it was only natural. Not just Prince Feng Xian, Fairy Ziwei and the Heavenly Court GU immortals felt the same. Their earlier underestimation only revealed their own foolishness. Thunder Ghost True Monarch and Chen Yi died, this demon Fang Yuan was extraordinary, he could not be assessed with common sense. Others could be underestimated, but trying to look down on Fang Yuan was simply stupidity. He is here indeed. Fang Yuan flew in the sky, he turned around to look, Prince Feng Xian was already getting close to him at a rapid speed. The commotion of annexing Langya Blessed Land was not small, Fang Yuan's main body was exposed. Prince Feng Xian had been waiting close by, the moment he sensed it, he charged over. Fang Yuan flew ahead rapidly. He did not want to fight Prince Feng Xian. After an intense battle earlier, he was not in peak condition, he had consumed a lot of immortal essence. At the same time, he had to defend against Fairy Ziwei's deductions. Emperor Yama was closely covering his soul, concealing his traces and expending his soul foundation. Fang Yuan, where are you running? If you are a man, stay here and fight me for 300 rounds. You coward, do you only know how to run? Prince Feng Xian had an arrogant attitude, he continued to scold endlessly. But the truth was, Prince Feng Xian was very much on guard, he seemed arrogant but his mind was on alert. Fang Yuan sneered, no matter how Prince Feng Xian provoked him, he paid no heed. Even if Fang Yuan was not in his peak condition, even with just rank 7 cultivation level, by using reverse flow protection seal, Luopo seal, heavenly giant Suller, and the immemorial rock dragon, he could totally fight evenly with Prince Feng Xian without falling back. But what was the point? Fighting against Prince Feng Xian could possibly cause problems if he was careless. This was one of the 10 great fierce areas of northern plains, Loose Tail Ridge. If Fang Yuan used his methods, he would expose precious information, his immortal essence would be expended for no reason. If Heavenly Court's reinforcements arrived while they fought, the situation would become much worse. The king does not dispatch troops based on anger. Be they righteous path or demonic path, if one could not control their emotions, regardless of how big their achievements were at the moment, they were just foolish clowns at the core. I arrived, this is it. Fang Yuan flew rapidly. When he saw the valley ahead of him with that huge frosty lake, he became extremely joyful. Prince Feng Xian had taken action long ago, he sent attacks towards Fang Yuan from the back. The two chased and fled, they rapidly got close to the frosty lake. A huge wave appeared in the frosty lake as an immemorial frost dragon appeared. It had a horn on its head, a long body of over 100 feet, and many layers of white scales on its body. The temperature of the surroundings fell drastically once it appeared. The immemorial frost dragon screeched, warning Fang Yuan and Prince Feng Xian to not approach its territory. But this immemorial frost dragon was Fang Yuan's target. When Langya land spirit first relocated the Blessed Land, going from the Crescent Lake to Loose Tail Ridge, he did not tell Fang Yuan about the specific location, he was on guard against Fang Yuan. But now that the land spirit was under him, Langya blessed land's location and the surrounding forces became Fang Yuan's knowledge. The immemorial frost dragon's warning was useless, Fang Yuan and Prince Feng Xian still charged towards it. It became enraged as it gulped, opening its mouth and emitting its endless frost breath. The frost breath was like a wave made of ice and frost, it was pure and white, everywhere it went, there was an icy light which shined like crystals. Fang Yuan activated reverse flow protection seal, moving into this colossal frost breath. Prince Feng Xian saw that the situation was amiss, he also chased after Fang Yuan. The frost breath engulfed everything, it interfered with Prince Feng Xian's investigative killer move. Fang Yuan's reverse flow protection seal made sure that he was intact and safe. As the frost breath flew past him, countless horse carriage-sized ice shards descended. Prince Feng Xian was bathed in flames, there was a layer of frost on his brows as he floated in the sky. After blocking the frost breath, Prince Feng Xian did not feel any smugness, instead, he felt angered and anxious. Because he had lost any trace of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan has familiar face, he probably turned into an ice shard and descended with them. Prince Feng Xian knew some important information, with his rich battle experiences, he immediately realized the most likely reason for Fang Yuan's disappearance. It was not easy now if he wanted to find Fang Yuan's main body. Especially when the immemorial frost dragon attacked him right when he was about to move. Stupid beast, Prince Feng Xian shouted in anger. The immemorial frost dragon had limited wisdom, since Fang Yuan vanished, it thought that he had died. The only one remaining was Prince Feng Xian, who was conspicuously bathed in raging flames. Compared to Fang Yuan's rank 7 aura, Prince Feng Xian had a powerful rank 8 aura, he was on the same level as the immemorial frost dragon. In the immemorial frost dragon's eyes, Fang Yuan was trivial, the true threat was Prince Feng Xian. Boom boom boom, Prince Feng Xian had no choice but to fight against the immemorial frost dragon intensely. At the same time, he found an opportunity to investigate all of the ice shards on the ground. He soon made a discovery. An ice shard fell onto the frosty lake and did not float, instead, it turned into an ancient frost dragon and swam towards the bottom of the pond. Fang Yuan, you cannot escape. Prince Feng Xian gave up on attacking the immemorial frost dragon, he targeted the frosty lake. Fang Yuan entered the frosty lake and dived down continuously. Soon, he saw a large number of frost dragons, here were ancient frost dragons and desolate beast frost dragons. This was a huge family of frost dragons. These frost dragons only looked at Fang Yuan curiously, he was one of them, they had no desire to attack. Prince Feng Xian's attack on the Frosty Lake was a completely different issue. Many of the ancient frost dragons started to attack him, but Prince Feng Xian incinerated all of them. The ancient frost dragons went into chaos. A small portion of them became ferocious as they pestered Prince Feng Xian while the rest escaped. Fang Yuan was overjoyed. He mixed into the group. Fang Yuan, come out if you have guts. Prince Feng Xian lost all traces of Fang Yuan again. He screamed angrily inside the Frosty Lake. His voice caused huge ripples and waves in the calm pond. The immemorial frost dragon cried out in despair. Its descendants were all brutally murdered by this human Gu Immortal. Blood dyed the Frosty Lake as its anger reached the tipping point. It attacked Prince Feng Xian with overwhelming hatred and anger. Chapter 1764 Evaluating Gains. Prince Feng Xian did not want to fight with the immemorial frost dragon. He continued to go after Fang Yuan and pester him. Prince Feng Xian dived deep down into the Frosty Lake. But soon, a second immemorial frost dragon appeared from within the deepest part of the Frosty Lake, blocking Prince Feng Xian. There are two immemorial frost dragons inside this Frosty Lake. Prince Feng Xian and Fang Yuan were deeply shocked. Prince Feng Xian was furious but helpless. He was temporarily stalled. Fang Yuan was overjoyed. He dived into the depths of the Frosty Lake, escaping Prince Feng Xian's pursuit. He soon found out that there was a secret tunnel in this Frosty Lake. It was connected to other places. Fang Yuan swam into the secret tunnel, arriving in another Frosty Lake. This Frosty Lake was tranquil and large. There were a large group of frost dragons here. So there is actually a huge group of them. No wonder there are two immemorial frost dragons. Wait, no, three. Fang Yuan's eyes flashed. He found another immemorial frost dragon here. This immemorial frost dragon was sprawled around the edge of the Frosty Lake. Hearing the intense battle, it became anxious. It moved its head around and growled. After a while, it could not wait anymore, diving into the Frosty Lake and going to help out the other immemorial frost dragons. Three immemorial frost dragons, hee. Fang Yuan felt a little pity for Prince Feng Xian. Prince Feng Xian was in trouble. Of course, immemorial frost dragons had much lower wisdom compared to humans. They could not kill Prince Feng Xian. In fact, one or two of the dragons might die. Prince Feng Xian had powerful battle strength. He had developed in Northern Plains to become a rank 8 Gu Immortal. His battle results were astounding. But after Prince Feng Xian gets rid of the three immemorial frost dragons, I would have left already. Fang Yuan got out of the pond and was about to leave, but he suddenly stopped moving. He saw many frost dragon eggs. Each egg was the size of a millstone. There were a few hundred of these eggs lying around. So the immemorial frost dragon was protecting these eggs earlier. That's why they refused to leave. Wait, what is this? At the center of the batch of eggs, he saw a small stone pillar that was gray-white in color and emitting frost energy. This is rank 8 immortal material frosty stone. Such a huge piece, it has incredible value. Even with Fang Yuan's current wealth, he felt a faint sense of joy from obtaining it. At this point, he finally realized why this group of frost dragons had three immemorial frost dragons. He immediately took away the frosty stone and the thousands of frost dragon eggs. My luck suppresses Prince Feng Xian and these frost dragons, thus, while being chased by him, I benefited instead. Fang Yuan sighed in his mind. Prince Feng Xian was not Feng Zhuzhe. Without the help of Dao Guardian Feng Zhuzhe's luck, Fang Yuan's superiority in luck became very apparent. Prince Feng Xian could not stall Fang Yuan. Instead, he gained a huge benefit. Without him fighting these three immemorial frost dragons, Fang Yuan would not have a chance to steal this immense fortune. This was the power of luck path. I have to thank Prince Feng Xian for his cooperation. Fang Yuan was happy as he drilled underground, using fixed immortal travel to escape. Prince Feng Xian was still fighting the three frost dragons now. Suddenly, the three immemorial frost dragons received information from the other frost dragons and learned that the eggs were stolen. They became enraged. Their eyes turned red as they sent out frost breaths like it was endless. Even the powerful Prince Feng Xian was dazed from their actions. He had to defend against them desperately. What are these stupid snakes doing? Why did they become so fierce? Prince Feng Xian could not understand. Sigh, these beasts are wasting so much time. Fang Yuan must have escaped already. My mission failed. Prince Feng Xian mentally sighed. There was no choice. Fang Yuan did not want to fight against him. He was too good at fleeing. Because Fang Yuan had transformation path attainment, Prince Feng Xian was at a disadvantage in a place like Loose Tail Ridge. Fang Yuan made use of his immense territorial advantage. When Gu Immortals fight, those who only look at killer moves are immortal Gu or the ignorant fools. GU Immortal elites would learn to use their advantages and other natural factors, they would consider the enemy's emotions and plans. Then come back. Fang Yuan is crafty, because you appeared at this time, he has likely deduced your true identity. Fairy Ziwei transmitted. Prince Feng Xian was silent, he felt dissatisfied, but Fairy Ziwei was right, he could not look down on Fang Yuan. The moment Prince Feng Xian acted against Fang Yuan, his identity was exposed. I'll retreat. Prince Feng Xian gritted his teeth, flying out of the frosty lake. But the three immemorial frost dragons did not let him off. What is going on? Are these three snakes crazy? They are not letting me off. Prince Feng Xian felt extremely unlucky, these three beasts were pestering him for no apparent reason. You think I am helpless against you? Prince Feng Xian was getting more and more furious. When he was about to attack, beast growls resounded around the entire ridge, figures of immemorial desolate beasts appeared as they looked at Prince Feng Xian with animosity. They recognized the three immemorial frost dragons, they had been neighbors for many years. But this human GU Immortal, where did he come from? He dared to invade Loose Tail Ridge. Prince Feng Xian's expression turned pale. Loose Tail Ridge was one of the 10 great fierce areas, even rank 8 GU Immortals had to be careful when exploring it. I might trigger a beast tide at this rate. I should leave. Prince Feng Xian's heart sank, he quickly retreated. Achoo! He was caught unguarded earlier and got hit by an immemorial frost dragon's frost breath, he was covered in frost now as he sneezed. Bam! With a loud sound, he was hit on the back by an ice ball from an immemorial frost dragon, he was pushed away by the momentum in a pitiful state. The three immemorial frost dragons chased after Prince Feng Xian relentlessly, but he did not dare to retaliate, he endured hits with an ashen expression as he escaped from Loose Tail Ridge while spitting out blood. 3 days later, the refinement path formation resonated, the final portion of harmful Dao marks had been removed. We finally succeeded, Lang Ya Land Spirit sighed. Fang Yuan let out a breath of air, he was finally safe. These 3 days, Fairy Ziwei had been making deductions, Fang Yuan felt immense pressure. Even though Emperor Yama did its job perfectly, it was expending Fang Yuan's soul foundation constantly. Compared to the previous life, my soul foundation has fallen much more. To quickly refine these harmful Dao marks, I spent a lot of rank 8 immortal materials. But compared to my gains, these losses are inconsequential. Fang Yuan evaluated this huge battle. Now that the harmful Dao marks were gone, Fairy Ziwei could no longer find them, this battle over Lang Ya Blessed Land had finally ended. Undeniably, Fang Yuan won this battle, his gains were immense. He was quite satisfied with it. The entire flow of the battle was within his control, nothing had gone out of his expectations. This was the advantage of rebirth. Spring-Autumn Cicada's power was evident and clear. Of course, if the user was not Fang Yuan who had great strength, no matter how many times a mortal tried to rebirth, they would not be able to change anything. In essence, Spring-Autumn Cicada was just a supporting GU, the changes that one could do post-rebirth were dependent on the GU Immortal's own schemes and abilities. But some mishaps happened regardless. Like Feng Zhuzhe escaping easily through Karma Relocation Killer move. And the other ability of the harmful Dao marks, after Fairy Ziwei gave up on the Dark Spiral and tried to deduce Lang Ya Blessed Land's location, I was caught off guard. This was something that Fang Yuan did not know in the previous life. Rebirth did not mean that Fang Yuan could know all of his enemies' trump cards. Especially against Heavenly Court, their foundation was just too deep. Rebirth carried advantages, but it was not absolute. The enemies were not stupid, if you act differently from the previous life, they would also react differently and make different actions. Fairy Ziwei forcefully deducing Lang Ya Blessed Land and sending Prince Feng Xian after him was the best evidence. This had not happened in the previous life. Before the battle, Fang Yuan had considered this, thus, he chose to resist Heavenly Court and did not involve Longevity Heaven. In the previous life, Lang Ya Land Spirit had to get help from Longevity Heaven, it made Heavenly Court retreat while Fang Yuan escaped. After suppressing Lang Ya Land Spirit, Fang Yuan gained a very alluring choice. That was to use the former agreement to make Lang Ya Land Spirit seek help from Longevity Heaven. Then, using Lang Ya Blessed Land as the battlefield, he could make Longevity Heaven and Heavenly Court fight to the death while he reaps the benefits at the best timing. But thinking about it, Fang Yuan gave up on this idea. It was too risky, even though the benefits were huge if he succeeded, the risks were too high, Fang Yuan was unwilling to take the chance. Spring-Autumn Cicada was still recovering now, it could not be used. And he could not look down on his enemies. Whether they be Longevity Heaven or Heavenly Court, they were all full of rank 8 geniuses with deep foundations. If he was careless, they would make a different choice than in the previous life. They would use many different methods. The more they change their actions, the more the situation would warp until nothing remains the same. Fang Yuan did not have enough strength currently to suppress the situation when both forces were involved. Thus, Fang Yuan chose to resist Heavenly Court alone. This way, there would be less variance, he could control the situation. Even though some mishaps occurred, they were not too troublesome. Fang Yuan obtained victory in the end. Everything in Langya sect belonged to Fang Yuan now. Right now, the 3 hairy man continents were placed in Mini Eastern Sea. Because a lot of the refinement water was used, Fang Yuan collected the rest and created an incomplete refinement sea, putting it at the most western side of Mini Eastern Sea, close to Mini Central Continent. As for Langya Blessed Land's cloud cover continent, Fang Yuan placed it in Mini White Heaven. The incomplete Immortal Gu House refinement cauldron of Langya sect was stored away by Fang Yuan. He dismantled it and planned to modify Great Thief Ghost Hand with it. The refinement path formation was completely intact and kept in Cloud Cover Continent. As for the Luck Path Self-Luck True Inheritance, Thieving Heaven True Inheritance, and Long Hair Refinement Path True Inheritance, Fang Yuan would research upon them in the future. 3 days have passed. I wonder if those variant human GU immortals have made their choice. Langya Land Spirit controlled the Long Hair Refinement Path formation as he slowly stopped it and spoke. Fang Yuan snorted lightly. I am a rank 8 GU immortal. A wise person submits to circumstances. If they are really blind and do not want to join Langya sect, we will eliminate these people. Chapter 1765 Taking in the Variant Humans. Inside the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. Mini White Heaven, Cloud Cover Continent. How about it? Has everyone decided? Fang Yuan controlled his time path clone to meet these remaining variant human GU immortals. Among these variant humans GU immortals, there was Snowman GU immortal Bing Yuan, Rockman GU immortals Shizong and Shi Cheng, as well as Inkman GU immortal Mo Qi. Because of Fang Yuan's intentional scheme, only these 4 variant human GU immortals were left. 3 days ago, after Fang Yuan got free from Prince Feng Xian, he let these 4 GU immortals decide if they wanted to join Langya sect. They had 3 days to consider it. Right now, 3 days had passed. Fang Yuan's time path clone and Langya land spirit came together. Bing Yuan and the rest looked at each other without speaking. They had difficult expressions. Fang Yuan's time path clone snorted coldly on the inside, but he showed a kind smile as he said warmly, everyone, you can tell me if you have any difficulties. We are allies, we are family. Even though I am currently a rank 8 GU immortal, I will not change my attitude toward you. Fang Yuan tossed out both the carrot and the stick. He pointed out his rank 8 cultivation with a smile. There was deep meaning behind his words and actions. The 4 variant human GU immortals heard this and had even uglier expressions. Fang Yuan had sold 3 of Thunder Ghost True Monarch's rib bones earlier. His reputation soared. The variant humans attached importance and paid attention to him. Now, he had controlled the situation to defeat Heavenly Court. He even killed 2 Heavenly Court rank 8 GU immortals in front of the variant human GU immortals. Fang Yuan's reputation was hundreds of times as high as before. He was like a tall mountain standing in front of these variant human GU immortals. These words had completely different implications now after the battle. Every word was like a mountain that pressed down on the variant human GU immortals' hearts. Seeing that the immortals were silent, Fang Yuan smiled again. I am trying to help you. You were all involved in the battle. Feng Juzhe has escaped and divulged the information. With Heavenly Court's wisdom path capabilities, they will certainly deduce your information. Staying here is the best choice. The 4 variant human GU immortals looked at each other with bitter expressions. Fang Yuan was right, but if they joined Langya sect, they would lose their freedom. This was different from their alliance agreement earlier. Who would want to lose their freedom? Fang Yuan had said it nicely by asking them to join Langya sect. But the 4 variant human GU immortals knew that Langya sect had been annexed by Fang Yuan already. Joining it was just a facade. The essence was to submit to Fang Yuan and become his subordinate. It was fine if Fang Yuan was a hairy man. But he was a human GU immortal. The 4 variant human GU immortals did not want to become the subordinates of a human GU immortal. But the situation was quite peculiar. They had no choice, to be honest. Not agreeing to Fang Yuan's request had terrifying consequences. Fang Yuan's smile gradually faded. He urged them in a plain tone, everyone, you are thinking too much. If I really want to harm you, I can just kill you on the spot. Can you really resist me? Fang Yuan was threatening them openly now. The 4 variant human GU immortals' expressions changed. They could not rebuke him. Fang Yuan had rank 8 battle strength, together with heavenly giant Suller. What could the rock men do with just one immemorial rock dragon? Fang Yuan looked at them as he continued. Even though I am a demonic path human Gu immortal, that was not by choice, because Heavenly Court wants to kill me. What else can I do? You are all my friends and family, I will not harm you. After joining Langya sect, we will be even closer together. If we are dispersed, Heavenly Court or even Longevity Heaven might find trouble with you to weaken us. Fang Yuan spoke earnestly. The 4 variant human Gu immortals felt a little more calm now. But Langya Land's spirit was feeling a cold chill upon seeing this. Master Fang Yuan's acting is truly impeccable. He had plotted against them earlier. If not for him, how could the 3 races lose so many Gu immortals? If I say the truth, I wonder what expression these 4 variant human Gu immortals will show. The 4 variant human Gu immortals were not stupid, they were quite intelligent. After all, they were the leaders of their own tribes and had survived for so many years. They were suspicious towards Fang Yuan, but they concealed these suspicions and did not show it at all. Fang Yuan was too strong now. He had stunning battle strength and rank 8 cultivation level, he could roam all 5 regions unhindered. Even Heavenly Court could not succeed, nobody could stop him now. Forget about Duke Long, he was a special case. Against Fang Yuan, the variant human Gu immortals felt deep fear but also a sense of reliance. If we join Fang Yuan, life should be much more stable. The 4 variant human Gu immortals had this thought in them, it was just the intensity that varied. One can find shade under large trees. Submitting to other human Gu immortals was too dangerous. But Fang Yuan seemed to be a good choice. But if they knew that Fang Yuan was going to attack Central Continent and Heavenly Court, who knew how they would feel? Since Lord Fang Yuan is inviting us with sincerity, we, the Snowman tribe, will believe in you, we will move over and join Langya sect. After a while of silence, the first to agree was Snowman Gu Immortal Bing Yuan. This rank 7 Gu Immortal was the grandmother of Fang Yuan's fiancé, Shui. With this relationship, she was closest to Fang Yuan, she agreed first. With Bing Yuan's agreement, the other 3 Gu Immortals soon submitted and agreed to become members of Langya sect. This was quite similar to the previous life. These variant human Gu Immortals joined Langya sect in the end. But last time, they were forced by Longevity Heaven, they had no hesitation. And in this life, Fang Yuan forced them, they agreed after 3 days. The leaders of the variant humans agreed. Next, Fang Yuan's main body went to the northern icy plain and Inkman City to capture all of the variant humans there. Wait, no, he was going to rescue them and escort them into the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. Sovereign Immortal Aperture, the next day. At the extreme north of many northern plains. A pair of Gu Immortals, male and female, floated in the sky as they looked down on the ground. The male had a plain expression but his eyes were deep like the abyss, he gave off an incredible air that could intimidate anyone. It was Fang Yuan's soul which had entered his former body, the current time path clone. The female immortal was young and beautiful, she was tall and vibrant, she had blue eyes and hair, she had the icy trait of her variant human race. It was Snowman Gu Immortal Shui, Fang Yuan's fiancé in name. Shui, my main body could not come here, only my clone can accompany you, will you blame me? Fang Yuan's time path clone said gently with an apologetic tone. Shui blinked several times before rapidly saying, Fang Yuan, don't worry about it, am I such a petty girl? With your clone by my side, I am very happy already. Shui placed herself on a low status. Even though Fang Yuan's time path clone had the same cultivation level as her at rank 6, his main body was a rank 8 Gu Immortal. Right now, the entire Snowman tribe had to live in Fang Yuan's Sovereign Immortal Aperture, even her grandmother Bing Yuan had become Fang Yuan's subordinate. The time path clone saw Shui's attitude and nodded in satisfaction. Shui asked, I have a question, why did you bring me here? Ha ha ha, I have a present for you. Shui, take a look down there. Fang Yuan's time path clone said as he waved his hand. The frost energy fog below faded as the mountain and formation were exposed. Shui opened her mouth as she showed a shocked expression. Ah, this is the snow crystal formation. I used an ice path crystal essence and a lot of ice and snow path Gu worms to create it. From now on, your Snowman tribe will live here. Fang Yuan explained the benefits of this formation. The snow crystal formation covered a wide range of tens of thousands of li. The snow crystal formation would emit the frost energy that would constantly alter the environment inch by inch, creating a living habitat that suited the snowmen. At the same time, snow monsters would be produced. they would coexist with the snowmen and train each other. Shui, we are engaged. The snowman tribe is closer to me than the others. These last days, I have been thinking of how to accommodate all of you. Thinking about it, after doing lots of deductions, I finally created this snow crystal formation. With it, the snowmen will have the best environment to live in. Saying this, the time path clone looked at Shui with a gentle expression. Shui was very happy, her eyes shined brightly. Fang Yuan, you really thought a lot about it. This is all out of my expectations. To speak the truth, Grandma was still worried yesterday on how to settle down the snowmen. Fang Yuan smiled lightly as he held Shui's shoulder. Shui's body shook. Such an intimate action, this was the first time for her. Fang Yuan spoke again. Shui, you will be the owner of this formation from now on. You can take care of the tribe. My sovereign immortal aperture has nothing but space in it. You must develop it well, make sure that there are more snowmen in the future, try to reach the size of the hairy men. Shui heard this, her eyes became red from excitement, she said in a choking voice, Fang Yuan, thank you so much. I have never thought that the snowmen would one day be able to develop so openly and freely. I will definitely not let you down. Grandma and Lord Bingzhou will definitely be very happy if they hear about your arrangements. Fang Yuan hugged her using this chance. This time, Shui did not turn stiff, she held onto Fang Yuan's chest with a face that was flushed red. Fang Yuan said with deep emotions, actually, the entire world is misunderstanding me. They call me shameless and unscrupulous, cold and emotionless, but the truth is, they want my immortal GU and precious memories. For that sake, they put all the blame on me and try to extort me using righteous excuses. My experiences are like the snowmen, so I can empathize with and understand you. Sigh, actually, I could have done more. The snow crystal formation lacks some ice and snow path immortal GU, it is not strong enough. At the same time, there is only one ice path crystal essence, if I can get more of those, I can place them all inside here. Fang Yuan's words made Shui feel immense bliss. She did not even think about it. Don't worry Fang Yuan, our snowman tribe has 2 ice path crystal essences in our inventory. Once Grandma hears about this, she will definitely use some immortal GU to develop our homeland. Oh, is that so? That would be wonderful. Fang Yuan showed an expression of surprise and joy as he smiled. Shui shut her eyes, her lips were curling up, she hugged Fang Yuan's waist as she sank into bliss and happiness. Chapter 1766 One step back, sea and sky expands. The sky was pure and blue, white clouds resembled snow. A strong breeze was blowing over the autumn grassland. Under the sunlight, golden waves could be seen as the grass moved in synchronization. And amidst these waves, there was a huge black city. From a bird's eye view, this city was large but has a strict structure. The outer city walls resembled huge rock monoliths, they were black like ink. The surface of the rocks had undergone weathering, the vicissitudes of time were carved on them. The entire city was a hexagon, it was situated on the grassland. The city walls were more than 200 li long, they were 100 feet tall and tens of feet thick, it was a grand sight. If a person stood on the grassland, they would see a huge black beast sprawling. If they got closer, they would need to raise their heads to look up at the huge city gate and walls. Every edge of the city had defensive towers that were filled with countless holes that could shoot out arrows. Every few li apart, there would be a wide path for horse carriages to move on. There were even very secretive armories within the city walls. For mortals, just the city wall was impenetrable. During the Northern Plains Imperial Court contest, this grand wall had resisted GU master armies tens of times without falling. Passing the city walls, one would arrive at the vibrant world within. This city had over 800,000 people, there were GU masters of all sorts. The city had many streets and shops, there were great numbers of houses and palaces. People and carriages were bustling, there was an endless flow of activity. Loud noises could be heard constantly, this was truly a lively city. And the most special trait, this city was most populous in Inkmen. Walking on all the streets and alleys, one could see few humans, but Inkmen could be seen anywhere. This was a city for the Inkmen. This was a unique city in Northern Plains, it was special even in the 5 regions. This was Inkman City. Rumble. Intense rumbling noises could be heard, earthquakes resounded as the peace and order of the city was disrupted. What happened? Did the earth crack? There had been rumors for the last few years that the earth would crack and form earth trenches that extend deep into the earth core. Save me, mother. At once, the city went into chaos, countless mortals were running around in panic, there was complete chaos. Dust rumbled, the whole of Inkman City's houses and city walls started to shine in a halo of light. Next, Inkman City floated up, it was soaring into the sky. Oh my lord, Inkman City is flying, it's flying. Were the rumors true? Inkman City is really a mortal GU house. Oh my heaven, this mortal GU house is so huge, this is unheard of. The mortals were incredibly shocked, they shouted in disbelief. Right at this time, an immortal killer move flew over, spreading a huge green light that enveloped the whole of Inkman City. Sleep, go ahead and sleep for a while. Fang Yuan smiled lightly as he floated among the clouds. A male Inkman immortal was standing beside him. He was the Inkman City Lord, King of the Northern Plains Inkman, rank 6 GU immortal Mo Tan Sang. He was one of the 2 remaining GU immortals of Inkman City. Due to Fang Yuan's Wisdom Path immortal killer move, Inkman City's mortals fell into deep sleep, the entire city became silent all of a sudden. Inkman City shrunk and became smaller. A moment later, it entered Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture successfully. This Inkman City has 800,000 people. In the past, the legendary Inkman GU immortal Yi Yan created it and it has developed until today. Central Continent has the number 1 human city, Emperor City. My Inkman City can be considered half an Emperor City. Fang Yuan recruited the Inkman GU immortals, he would naturally not give up their greatest asset. From now on, you will continue to be the Inkman City Lord. Develop it, nurture more Inkman GU immortals. My sovereign immortal aperture has sufficient space for you to display your skills. Fang Yuan smiled as he said to Mo Tan Sang. Mo Tan Sang had an excited expression, he quickly knelt down and paid respects to Fang Yuan. I, Mo Tan Sang, am willing to assist Lord Fang Yuan, I will do my best to develop Inkman City. Go inside too. Fang Yuan smiled plainly. Mo Tan Sang obediently entered Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. He followed Inkman City and landed in mini Western Desert. Fang Yuan had chosen the location long ago. Once Inkman City landed, the dust clouds dispersed, the sleeping mortals started to wake up. Mo Tan Sang gave out orders meticulously, he controlled the situation and maintained Inkman City's stability. Mo Tan Sang was feeling very complex now, when facing Fang Yuan, he did not dare to show any impoliteness. Mo Tan Sang had interacted with Fang Yuan long ago when he was still rank 6. Mo Tan Sang had even sold Tai Bai Yunsheng the 9 Clouds Ring mortal killer move as a favor to befriend them. Right now, Tai Bai Yunsheng was dead while Fang Yuan had rank 8 cultivation level, his terrifying battle strength and incredible battle records eliminated any sense of rebellion in his heart. Fang Yuan came to retrieve Inkman City, Mo Tan Sang had learned about it in advance, he cooperated fully during the process. Fang Yuan smiled internally, Mo Tan Sang is indeed a talented person. I remember that in the 500 years of my previous life, this person led Inkman City and nurtured many Inkman GU immortals, he cooperated with Ma Hongyun on equal status. During the 5 regions chaotic war, not only did he raise his cultivation level, he even expanded Inkman City to hundreds of cities all over Northern Plains. With him governing Inkman City and without any rival forces in mini Western Desert, his future prospects are very bright. Mo Tan Sang was a talented leader. Not only did he have unique foresight and courage to take resolute actions, he could also bow and submit when necessary, he was not someone who could be belittled. As long as he had a chance, he would turn around the situation and create miracles for himself. In this aspect, he was like a weaker Wu Yang. But because of his variant human identity, he did not have a good cultivation environment, he had always been troubled by his circumstances. As long as he had a chance, his development would not be restricted to this. Fang Yuan was not worried about his growth, he was happy to see it happen. This was the magnanimity of an expert, this was Fang Yuan's confidence in himself. No matter how Mo Tan Sang grew, Fang Yuan was confident in controlling and manipulating him for his own use. There was actually some risk in relocating Inkman City. Heavenly Court might have tried to ambush him during this process. If Fairy Ziwei deduced the origins of the participating Inkman GU immortals, knowing that they were from Inkman City, she might realize that Fang Yuan would go after Inkman City. In this case, even if Heavenly Court did nothing, as long as Fairy Ziwei told this news to Longevity Heaven, they would also cause Fang Yuan great problems. But the lucky thing was, even after Fang Yuan obtained Inkman City, there had been no problems, it was smooth sailing. Fang Yuan's main body quickly left while his time path clone stayed with Langya Land Spirit. The long hair refinement path formation was currently operating. Langya Land Spirit controlled it personally and reported to Fang Yuan's clone. In about a month's time, the seal of Langya's origin core will be fully removed. Fang Yuan nodded lightly, observing the formation. Every immortal aperture, be it Blessed Land or Grotto Heaven, would have an immortal aperture origin core. The Immortal Aperture Origin Core was the foundation of the Immortal Aperture, the base of it all. Developing the Immortal Aperture, annexing other Immortal Apertures, it would strengthen one's own Immortal Aperture Origin Core. When the Immortal Aperture Origin Core is damaged or drawn out, the painstakingly developed Immortal Aperture would reverse its progression, the space would shrink and the primeval energy would dwindle, life forms within would die en masse. The Immortal Aperture Origin Core was like a spirit spring. GU Immortals were drawing immortal essence from the Origin Core itself. Langya Immortal Aperture was once a rank 8 grotto heaven, the Immortal Aperture Origin Core was a milky white lump. After Long Hair Ancestor died, Langya Heavenly Spirit could barely resist the rank 8 calamities and tribulations. After spending countless years, he found a solution. The Heavenly Spirit used a refinement path killer move to seal the Langya Origin Core. Its rank fell and became a red-colored rank 7 Origin Core. Langya Heavenly Spirit thus became Langya Land Spirit. But precisely so, the future calamities and tribulations that Langya Immortal Aperture faced were at rank 7. Fang Yuan was rank 8 now, but it was a fake rank 8. He had enough Dao marks but his Immortal Aperture Origin Core was still the red Origin Core. Only after Langya's Origin Core gets unsealed and returns to being the milky white rank 8 Origin Core would Fang Yuan become a true rank 8 GU Immortal. After annexing and fusing with it, his Immortal Aperture would become a grotto heaven, it would start producing white lychee Immortal Essence. This method of sealing the Origin Core and lowering the grade of the Immortal Aperture was extremely amazing, it had a huge significance. During normal times, most GU Immortals would die from calamities and tribulations. Hu Immortal was one of such cases. She died from the Blue Charm Lightning Shadow Calamity, leaving behind Hu Immortal Blessed Land. If one could use this method to lower their rank by 1, the GU Immortal would be able to deal with calamities and tribulations more easily. They can even accumulate Dao marks and not fear that they cannot match the strength of the calamities and tribulations. Fang Yuan obtained this method. He liked it a lot. He praised Langya Land Spirit about it for a long time. But Langya Land Spirit told him instead, I am just mimicking. My main body obtained this method from Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable, while Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable obtained this from Limitless Demon Venerable's inheritance. This killer move was originally a rule path killer move, named, One Step Back. Afterwards, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable modified it extensively, creating the Space Path killer move, Sea and Sky Expands. I am merely turning it into a refinement path version, it cannot be considered a modification or improvement, I am merely mimicking. Thus, I could not bring myself to give it a name, I fused the former two names together and called it, One Step Back, Sea and Sky Expands. Fang Yuan heard this and sighed, to think that this method had such a long and impressive history. Immortal killer move, One Step Back, Sea and Sky Expands. Very evidently, this was a support move to manage the Immortal Aperture, it did not have any offensive power. But its value and worth was immeasurable. If this was leaked out, the entire GU Immortal world would benefit, the number of GU Immortals in this world would surge by many times, even tens of times. From this aspect, Fang Yuan could see the immense talent and strength of Limitless Demon Venerable and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. With this method, Limitless Demon Venerable and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable could easily accumulate Dao marks and past tribulations without problems. This method broke the norm of the GU Immortal cultivation world, it removed the GU Immortals' pressure from calamities and tribulations, they would not need to risk their lives, they could deal with this without any pressure. This means that Limitless Demon Venerable and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable could accumulate Dao marks on par with rank 9 before becoming venerable. Fang Yuan said this sentence. But Langya Land Spirit told him, Master, you are underestimating the Venerables. According to Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable, when Limitless Demon Venerable was a GU Master, he already had GU Immortal level Dao marks. When he reached rank 6 and became a GU Immortal, he had peak rank 8 GU Immortal Dao marks. Chapter 1767 Rank 8 Water Refinement Immortal GU. Langya Land Spirit sighed, continuing, Every Venerable is an invincible character, they had unthinkable talent and ability, they cannot be looked at with common sense. Underestimating them is our foolishness, it is an insult towards them. Fang Yuan nodded, he thought about the battle in the previous life. Every Venerable's action could easily change the entire situation, overturning all of the GU Immortals' hard work in an instant. Even though Duke Long was so powerful, against a Venerable method, he had absolutely no way to resolve it. Purely in terms of Dao marks, the difference between rank 8 and 9 is not that huge. But the truth is, the difference between rank 8 and 9 is as vast as heaven and earth, it can send someone into despair, this is simply because those are unique individuals. Man is the spirit of all living beings, GU is the essence of heaven and earth. There are no invincible GU worms or killer moves, there are only invincible people. Look at Limitless Demon Venerable, he had rank 8 level Dao marks when he was still rank 6, when he reached rank 9, how many Dao marks would he have? Fang Yuan could not estimate it. Cultivation logic and common sense were not appropriate on Venerables. Red Lotus Demon Venerable could rebirth countless times, Limitless Demon Venerable had such shocking Dao mark numbers, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's plot affected heaven and earth, altering history. All these Venerables were unfathomable. Or at least, for the current Fang Yuan, that was the case. In fact, in the Battle of Langya, Fang Yuan killed Thunder Ghost True Monarch and Chen Yi, he also stole Feng Juji's fixed immortal travel. But what was his greatest gain? It was that he had expended one of Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's methods. Karma relocation. In the previous life, Chen Yi had relied on this move to defend infallible blessed land until the end and stalled for a long time. It made Fang Yuan, Wu Yong, and Bing Sai Chuan lose their final opportunity to turn the situation around. Even though I expended the killer move Karma relocation in advance, who knows how many methods these Venerables have left behind. Maybe due to the influence of my rebirth, even more venerable methods might be triggered. By just relying on my rebirth advantage, I will become stronger than my previous life through constant accumulation. But that is not assuring enough, who knows when a Venerable's method will be triggered at a crucial moment. To destroy Fate GU, I alone am not enough, I need to obtain some Venerable methods to play safe. Fang Yuan analyzed in his mind. A few days later. Southern border, Plunder Shadow Earth Trench. This was once Shadow Sect's base, Fang Yuan had stayed here for some time. Afterwards, when Southern Border's GU Immortals attacked and besieged him, Fang Yuan self-detonated a large number of pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, forming dream realms that stalled them while he escaped successfully. As a result, a large number of dream realms were left behind. Southern Border's GU Immortals chose to set up a formation here to observe and research on the dream realms. Fang Yuan came here silently. He used a refinement path killer move, a drizzle started on the formation around these Southern Border GU Immortals. The formation activated to resist the rain. Who is attacking us? HMPH, this formation is impenetrable. That's right, nobody can even dream of breaking through. The main GU Immortals defending this place were Yang San Mu, Kai Chu, and Sha Fan. They immediately became alert after the mysterious attack. Soon, they found Fang Yuan easily. He did not conceal himself. In fact, using this immortal killer move would cause his aura to surge and burst out, he could not hide it. Fang Yuan had only seen one person who could perfectly conceal his killer move's aura, that was Wu Yong. However, Fang Yuan still used familiar face to change his appearance. If he used his true appearance, wouldn't these defending GU Immortals be scared to death? It's a rank 7 GU Immortal. We are not sure who, but he has Southern Border aura, he must be a secluded cultivator. Within the formation, Sha Fan could not tell that it was Fang Yuan, he started to guess. By now, Lang Ya's origin core had been completely unsealed, Fang Yuan annexed it and became a true rank 8 GU Immortal. But he purposely disguised his aura to be at rank 7. His familiar face killer move had been modified extensively during the final moments of the previous life. Right now, none of Southern Border's GU Immortals could discover the truth. In order to prevent an expanding ink effect and to maintain his rebirth advantage, Fang Yuan still chose to do the same thing as in his previous life, he was still going to attack this defensive formation. At the same, he concealed his rank 8 cultivation level. On one hand, he was guarding against Heavenly Court, on the other hand, he was luring out Southern Border's GU Immortals. According to his previous life's memories, with this development, Southern Border would organize a group to pursue Fang Yuan. If he exposed his rank 8 cultivation level, there would not be just one rank 8 GU Immortal, Sha Cha, coming after him. It was natural that Fang Yuan pretended to be weak. The drizzle soon turned into a heavier rain as it penetrated the formation. Within the formation, Kai Chu's expression changed. What refinement path killer move is this? It can actually refine our formation. This cannot go on anymore. Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land, he obtained the long hair refinement path true inheritance and a large number of immortal GU. There were originally 3 rank 8 immortal GU, they were water refinement, forceful refinement, and advanced refinement. All 3 were refinement path immortal GU, when used alone, they had no offensive power, they were all support type. Among them, forceful refinement immortal GU could directly refine the immortal GU of others, it was the original core of the immortal GU house refinement cauldron, but Shadow Sect had stolen it back then. In that battle, rank 8 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus also got damaged, it had fallen to rank 7 after that fight. Rank 8 Advanced Refinement Immortal GU was the core of the long hair refinement path formation. As for rank 8 Water Refinement Immortal GU, it was hidden within the refinement water. All along, Langya Land Spirit had been using this GU and other supplementary GU worms to form an immortal killer move to convert the refinement path and water path Dao marks of Langya Blessed Land into refinement water. Langya Land Spirit's plan was to accumulate the refinement water, and after reaching a certain point, it would become the refinement sea. Refinement sea was a secluded domain of heaven and earth. Once it formed, it would replenish itself unceasingly. This was a grand plan. It consumed an immense amount of refinement path Dao marks, wealth, time and energy. After Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land, he wisely halted this plan. He took out the water refinement immortal GU within for his own use. The killer move that Fang Yuan was using now had rank 8 water refinement immortal GU as the core. Fang Yuan used many GU worms to suppress the rank 8 aura, disguising it as rank 7. This was also part of his tactic to express weakness. No worry, how can this rank 7 killer move break our formation? Kai Chu said with a prideful tone. This formation was created by Kai Clan. As a Kai Clan GU immortal, Kai Chu was very prideful. He had absolute confidence in his clan's immortal formation. Look, the formation activated. Even without us interfering, it can deal with the enemy. This refinement path killer move will end up in failure. Kai Chu laughed. But soon, Kai Chu's smile vanished. The formation had already undergone several changes, but no matter what, it could not deal with the refinement path killer move. The rain that was already heavy became a downpour. The downpour was unceasing. The formation was corroded to a large extent. There were GU immortal reports constantly. They had anxious tones and expressions, because a large number of mortal GU were refined by the enemy in the rain. However, this formation could only work on its own at the early stages. Unless there was no choice, GU immortals could not control it. This was the lesson that the southern border GU immortals learned from the Battle of Yitian Mountain. To prevent outsiders like Fang Yuan from infiltrating and controlling the immortal formation, it was specially designed like this. Kai Chu was helpless. He gritted his teeth and said with a look of disbelief, "How can this be? What kind of refinement path killer move is this? My clan's formation is actually useless against it." Kai Chu was simply dumbfounded. Normally speaking, refinement path did not have such a big advantage over formation path. But Fang Yuan's formation path attainment was very high. And most importantly, he was very familiar with this defensive formation. Even though this formation had caused him a lot of trouble in the previous life, Fang Yuan had threatened and lured Kai Kuyu into cooperating afterwards. Kai Kuyu became the biggest traitor of southern border. He gave the information of this formation over to Fang Yuan. This pitiful Kai Chu would never imagine that their formation was completely exposed to the enemy. And the traitor was actually their first supreme elder. Know yourself and your enemy, and you will never be defeated, not to mention that Fang Yuan was using a rank 8 killer move. Not long after, the southern border GU immortals in the formation became anxious as they started pacing around. What do we do? What do we do? The enemy's refinement speed is getting faster. Who is he? Possessing such a killer move, no wonder he attacked so confidently. Their GU worm refinement speed is getting faster, we cannot keep up. At the final moment, even if we can control the formation, it will be too late. Kai Chu wiped the sweat off his forehead. Formation path is useless indeed. Sha Fan snorted coldly as Kai Chu stared fiercely. Sha Fan did not care, looking at Yang San Mu and saying, "The urgent matter now is to send out GU immortals to fight. We will disrupt the enemy's killer move so we can exchange GU worms in the formation and repair it." He was a wisdom path GU immortal. He had the responsibility to come up with a tactic. Yang San Mu nodded. He was the leader. He had to stand up now. Then I will go and deal with the enemy. Even though Fang Yuan was mysterious, Yang San Mu had a lot of confidence in himself. He was a soul path GU refinement, a renowned rank 7 expert in southern border. Meanwhile, refinement path was skilled at refining GU. It was weaker than other paths in other aspects. Sha Fan had a joyful expression. With Brother Yang taking action personally, we will definitely kill the enemy and resolve this problem. Yang San Mu glanced at him before flying out of the formation. He approached Fang Yuan. "Come fight." Ah, Yang San Mu ended in defeat. How can he be this strong? Yang San Mu was captured. A moment later, the formation was taken down by Fang Yuan. Even though it had a transportation function, Fang Yuan had used a refinement path method to refine it. This method was destroyed from the start. None of the GU immortals guarding the formation escaped. Fang Yuan captured all of them. Chapter 1768 Kai Kuyu's Anger and Grief. Plunder Shadow Earth Trench's defensive formation had been destroyed. Southern Border's super forces soon noticed this fact. The righteous path was shaken. Plunder Shadow Earth Trench's Dream Realm was the largest congregation of dream realms other than Yitian Mountain in Southern Border. Any path had its own cultivation resources. Dream realms were evidently the unique resource for Dream Path, they contained the profundities of Dream Path within. Immortal Yi Yan's prophecy of 3 venerables had been ingrained in everyone's hearts. GU Immortals knew about the future era, it was the era of Dream Path. Any super force paid huge attention to the Dream Realms, they were very careful in regards to guarding them. Plunder Shadow Formation was destroyed too rapidly, who is that culprit? According to the GU Immortals information and our own investigation, there was only one enemy, and he was just a rank 7 GU Immortal. A rank 7 GU Immortal could take down this formation. And with such speed and power. This situation is really bizarre indeed. Do you think it is that demon Fang Yuan? That's unlikely. If it is Fang Yuan, why would he leave those dream realms in Plunder Shadow Earth Trench untouched? He has a method to turn them into bodies after all. Different from the previous life, Fang Yuan did not keep the Plunder Shadow Earth Trench's dream realms, he purposely left them. This caused Southern Border's righteous path to start guessing randomly. Fang Yuan's identity was well concealed. At once, Southern Border's GU Immortals were wondering who that GU Immortal who attacked the formation was. Who had the guts to challenge Southern Border's righteous path? Who had such methods to destroy a super immortal formation with ease? What was his purpose? Was he just trying to suppress Southern Border's righteous path? He had enmity towards the righteous path. Or maybe he had some gains in Dream Path, he was making use of the Dream Realms. Among all of the Southern Border righteous path forces, the most unhappy one was Kai Clan's first Supreme Elder, Kai Kuyu. Plunder Shadow Earth Trench's immortal formation had a secret backdoor, Kai Kuyu had left it behind. To prevent the Dream Realms from getting stolen, he had planned in advance to set that arrangement. When Fang Yuan attacked the formation, he rapidly sensed it, he hesitated on whether to use this backdoor or not. After all, he had done that sneakily. If he exposed it now, his reputation in Southern Border's righteous path would be tarnished. By the time he sensed something wrong and wanted to use the backdoor, Fang Yuan's refinement path killer move had already broken it. Kai Kuyu felt gloomy and irritated. In the previous life, after Fang Yuan exposed his identity and could not destroy the formation in time, Kai Kuyu made up his mind and transported himself into the formation secretly. But in this life, Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land, his strength was much higher now at the same time period, Kai Kuyu did not have much time to react to this. The truth was, he had a chance but he hesitated, he did not make use of it. Of course, even if he used the backdoor to arrive before Fang Yuan, he would not be a problem. Soon, Kai Kuyu's irritation got worse. Out of nowhere, rumors started to spread. They said that the formation was so easily broken without giving the righteous path any time to send reinforcements because Kai Clan had a traitor. Precisely because this traitor exposed the formation's secret, the mysterious GU Immortal could easily destroy it. This is slander. These are baseless rumors. My Kai Clan will definitely investigate properly, all these people will face our judgment. Kai Kuyu reacted quickly, he immediately made an announcement, displaying his stance. But the rumors spread even quicker, lots of different stories emerged, some were clearly fake news while others were quite reasonable, the righteous path GU Immortals became quite suspicious. Kai Kuyu was extremely angry, he had been feeling gloomy the last few days. These rumors were attacking him, his reputation that was built up over a long time was starting to fall rapidly. How can my Kai Clan divulge information? The mastermind behind this is truly vicious. Kai Kuyu stood up and made his point. He felt regret now. Had he known this, he would have taken the risk to transport himself over last time. Even if that backdoor is exposed and I suffer criticism, I will at least be able to capture the mysterious culprit. Kai Kuyu was very confident in himself because he felt that the enemy was a rank 7 GU Immortal. Regarding this guess, other than the evidence present, Kai Kuyu also had his own train of thought. If this was a rank 8, they could attack directly, why was there a need to hide themselves and act mysteriously? Some righteous path GU Immortals consoled him and expressed their trust towards Kai Clan. While some righteous path GU Immortals, like the ones from Yang Clan which had always been opposing Kai Clan, had much worse tones. It is not that hard to believe that it was an inside job. Our Yang Clan had terrible losses. Yang San Mu is a rank 7 expert. He lost too quickly, that was not normal. Evidently, Someone leaked his information. There were even Yang Clan GU Immortals blaming Kai Kuyu directly. Since Lord Kai Kuyu is claiming innocence now, how do you explain why the leaked contents of the Immortal formation are all accurate? Kai Kuyu had nothing to say, he was also troubled over this. However, he had to speak righteously and keep a firm attitude. There is no need to explain this. The formation's details are not just known by my Kai clan. In terms of suspicion, any super clan involved in this has a possibility of being a traitor. Admitting that Kai clan had a traitor was too damaging to their reputation. Kai Kuyu swore to himself that he would never admit it no matter what. If a traitor really appears, I will pull out their tendons and rip their skin, I will crush every bone in their body. Kai Kuyu cursed. He hated the mysterious enemy, but he also held huge grudges towards Kai clan's possible traitor. The laughable thing was, Kai clan really had a traitor, it was himself. Of course, that was the previous life's matter. Even Kai Kuyu had no idea this would happen. In other words, his circumstances were all caused by himself. But no matter how Kai Kuyu defended himself or pushed his stand, rumors about Kai clan continued to spread and intensify. Looking at this situation, it seems that other than the enemy who attacked, the other southern border forces are also adding fuel to the fire. Yang clan is definitely involved. Kai Kuyu was very angry. Even with his rank 8 cultivation level and formation path Great Grandmaster attainment, he was without options in this situation. In the rules of the righteous path, cultivation level was not everything. There is only one way now, I need to find the instigator. That's right, as long as I can capture them and unveil the truth, I can get the whole of Southern Border's righteous path to shut up. Kai Kuyu almost wanted to shout, return my innocence, return my reputation. But if he really found the culprit, who knows what expression or idea he would have. Chapter 1769 Variant Human Race Inheritances. Kai Kuyu was so old, but he had to manage Kai clan's affairs tirelessly. For the Great Era, he even had to work hard to nurture his lacking inheritor. The truth was, Kai Kuyu did not have it easy at all, and these rumors were still trying to defame him. Kai Kuyu was very angry and upset. He gritted his teeth as he waited for Fang Yuan to appear again. As the culprit, Fang Yuan had been living peacefully these last days. He had a very fulfilling time. He was managing his immortal aperture. The immortal aperture was the foundation of a GU immortal. If the immortal aperture management was poor, no matter how strong a GU immortal was, they would achieve nothing much. Langya Blessed Land had completely integrated into the sovereign immortal aperture. After its origin core was unsealed, Fang Yuan quickly annexed it. Fang Yuan let Langya Land Spirit do the work of changing the variant human GU Immortals Alliance Agreement. The new alliance agreement was strict and had strong binding terms. It ensured that Fang Yuan had the supreme authority and status. All of the variant human GU Immortals were his subordinates and vassals. There was a rule, all of the variant humans will contribute their immortal apertures into the sovereign immortal aperture after they die. Thus, Fang Yuan's grotto heaven gained many new blessed lands. These blessed lands belonged to the unlucky variant humans who had died at Chen Yi's hands during the Battle of Langya Blessed Land. The hairy man GU Immortals were shocked at this, but Langya Land Spirit had great prestige. Along with Sixth Hair's cooperation, they quickly accepted the fact. The other variant human GU Immortals were unwilling to do so, but with Fang Yuan's strength, they could not resist, they could only accept it. Of course, Fang Yuan was an old schemer. His political manipulation was not worse than Wu Yang. He also set a rule for himself in the alliance agreement: he would fully nurture the variant humans without any discrimination. When the alliance agreement became effective, he gave these variant human GU Immortals a lot of benefits immediately. In fact, he even secretly sent a portion of the variant human GU Immortals to the Stone Lotus Island secretly. They were able to enjoy the effects of future self and gain greater knowledge. The variant human GU Immortals were extremely shocked. They realized now that Fang Yuan was actually backed by the most mysterious Venerable in history, Red Lotus Demon Venerable. As a result, they lost all thoughts of betrayal. Of course, Shui Bing Zhou and others were not given the chance to use future self. According to the ink effect, Fang Yuan had already killed them in the previous life. They did not exist in the lower stream of the river of time, they had no future. It was easy to deceive them. Fang Yuan said that the Stone Lotus Island had a limit. Future self-killer move needed time to accumulate and recover. The alliance agreement stated that they needed to be honest with Fang Yuan, but he could choose to keep secrets from them after all. Of course, this was not fair. But with Fang Yuan's use of the carrot and stick, these variant human GU Immortals could only lower their heads and accept their fate. The truth was, Fang Yuan indeed wanted to nurture these variant humans. There were several points. Firstly, the more variant humans there were, the more lifespan GU would be produced. While Fang Yuan had no concerns about this now, he could start preparing early. Secondly, Fang Yuan was starting an attempt to comprehend human path. The more humans or variant humans he raised, the more helpful it would be towards his human path comprehension. And thirdly, the racial inheritances of the variant humans. Back then, when the human immortal venerables and demon venerables emerged, suppressing all 10 variant human races and slaughtering them, the variant humans had little hope towards the future. It was full of despair. The variant humans realized that this was bad. All of them worked together to create their racial inheritances that contained the most valuable possessions of their own race, hiding them for their future generations to leave hope for the future. According to the understanding of the variant humans, Fate GU was part of the heavenly Tao. It took away surpluses while replenishing deficits. They acknowledged that there was the decree, humanity is supreme, but this decree would not last forever, right? The variant humans were not wrong in this regard, but they had not expected star constellation Immortal Venerable to be so brazen as to become one with the Tao. This resulted in the long-lasting rule of humanity. The variant humans were stunned, they were suppressed until now. But this was advantageous to Fang Yuan too. According to the information that Langya Land Spirit had. When the number of variant human mortals and GU immortals reach a certain number, their racial inheritances would appear to them, it would help them grow and develop. In history, the variant humans had never risen up, so these racial inheritances were mostly preserved. According to Langya Land Spirit's guess, the racial inheritance of hairy men was the infallible inheritance. Infallible blessed land was at Hairyfoot Mountain. Even though Heavenly Court found it, they had great difficulty in trying to obtain it. The Heavenly Court, which had immense foundation and geniuses, were simply without options against infallible blessed land. Eventually, they relied on human path methods to try and extract a part of infallible blessed land's wealth. But no Heavenly Court GU Immortal had actually managed to enter this secluded blessed land. Nobody knew what the inside of infallible blessed land looked like. In the previous life, even though Fang Yuan destroyed Hairyfoot Mountain, infallible blessed land was still intact. All these reasons showed how profound and special infallible blessed land was. This proved that the variant human racial inheritances were extremely extraordinary and mysterious. This was also why Fang Yuan had not gone to Hairyfoot Mountain yet, even though he had fixed immortal travel and its modified killer move. According to his previous life's memories, at this point in time, Heavenly Court had not set up the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation at Hairyfoot Mountain. Despite this, even if Fang Yuan tried to launch a sneak attack using fixed immortal travel, he could not do anything to infallible blessed land. Heavenly Court seems to have found a way to destroy infallible blessed land, but I do not have any for now. Even if I do, would Fairy Z-Wei not guard against that? Sneak attacking it is simply too risky. After thinking about it deeply, Fang Yuan gave up on attacking Hairyfoot Mountain. This idea was too risky. It underestimated his enemy's intelligence. It also went against Fang Yuan's vigilant nature. After annexing Langya blessed land, Fang Yuan's gains were huge. Let alone anything else, he benefited the most from information. The variant human racial inheritances were the most obvious example. Langya blessed land had simply too long of a history. It had existed for over 300,000 years. How long had it been since Fang Yuan became immortal? Even with the 500 years of his previous life, he had not reached 600 years. Langya Land Spirit knew a lot of historical secrets. Before being annexed, he would not tell Fang Yuan everything, but now, he kept no secrets to himself. Several days later, southern border, above Contact Heart River bank. Jade green light flickered weakly, before green bubbles started to appear. Rank 7 killer move aura quickly spread and permeated to the surroundings. This aura, it was a rank 6 GU immortal from Kai clan who defended Contact Heart River bank. He controlled the formation as he sensed a killer move aura. Before he acted, these jade green bubbles popped on their own. Each popping bubble gave off a thick green light. It spread like flowing water. A large number of bubbles vanished. In their place was a thick lump of jade green light. The green jade light was extremely bright. It gave off a radiance that could not be looked at intently. The strong light appeared and faded just as quickly. When the green light vanished entirely, a person appeared in the sky. He wore a green robe, his complexion was as clear as jade, his nose was tall and he was handsome to the point of looking like a peerless beauty. His skin was white as snow, his eyes were dark like the abyss, he had long luscious black hair that resembled a waterfall, hanging straight down to his waist. The rank 6 GU immortal from Kai clan defending this place saw the person's appearance and his mouth opened wide. His heart was pounding as he felt a chill, his body broke out in cold sweat. Fang Yuan. Ever since Fang Yuan escaped from Thunder Ghost True Monarch and sold her 3 rib bones in Treasure Yellow Heaven, his reputation surpassed Feng Juzhe. He was publicly recognized as the #1 rank 7 expert. He had the power to fight rank 8. After the Battle of Langya Blessed Land, Heavenly Court lost. Even though Fairy Ziwei concealed Chen Yi's and Thunder Ghost True Monarch's deaths, she took responsibility and announced the failure of Heavenly Court to invade Langya Blessed Land to the public. Feng Juzhe was pursued by Fang Yuan, half of his immortal GU were stolen. She had placed the video of this in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Thus, everyone knew now that Fang Yuan not only had rank 7 fixed immortal travel, he even annexed Langya Blessed Land and possibly had a method to steal immortal GU. After defeating Feng Juzhe, Fang Yuan's reputation stabilized and even improved. He was a common topic among countless GU immortals. Kai Clan's rank 6 GU immortal saw the great demon Fang Yuan appear. Why would he dare to stay any longer? Faster, faster, faster. He activated the formation, teleporting away for his dear life. Fang Yuan was still savoring the immortal killer move he used earlier, Jade Flow Pearl. This killer move used rank 7 fixed immortal travel as the core and almost all of Fang Yuan's current space path immortal GU, a few refinement path immortal GU, and a lot of supplementary mortal GU to construct. Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land and became rank 8, his Dao marks increased immensely. Just the rank 7 fixed immortal travel alone could not teleport him. Only by creating a killer move and increasing its power could he barely be moved. In the previous life, he had also created a space path killer move with fixed immortal travel as the core to transport him, when having rank 8 cultivation level. But Jade Flow Pearl was different from the previous life's killer move. The previous life's fixed immortal travel killer move was a space path killer move, while this current move was a compound killer move of space path and refinement path. One of the reasons was that the fixed immortal travel killer move in his previous life was created after Fang Yuan extorted Southern Border's righteous path and obtained many specific space path rank 7 immortal GU. But now, he had not ambushed Sha Cha yet, not to mention the rest of Southern Border's righteous path. Fang Yuan's space path immortal GU mostly came from Langya Blessed Land's inventory now, most were rank 6 and they were not very compatible. Thus, Fang Yuan used refinement path immortal GU to modify the killer move intensively. With the power of refinement path, Fang Yuan's refinement path Dao marks were no longer a burden to the teleportation. This was the advantage of compound killer moves. But compound killer moves were much harder to deduce. Fang Yuan could deduce it quickly because he had quasi-supreme refinement path attainment level in the light of wisdom. Fang Yuan put away the thoughts in his mind for now as he looked down. For a range of hundreds of li, there were mountains and forests. But below him, there was a flat land that was about half a square kilometer large. It was covered in smoke and fog. Fang Yuan pointed as dragons flew out, roaring with a grand and fierce aura. It was a mortal killer move, Myriad Dragon. Fang Yuan refined Myriad Self-Immortal GU successfully. It took very little time to activate Myriad Dragon now. The Myriad Dragons rushed into the fog and smoke, easily destroying the defensive method below. Similar to the previous life, the defending Kai Clan GU Immortal had already escaped. Fang Yuan smiled. This was within his expectations. He had purposely exposed his identity for this. In the previous life, he had learned about the cowardice of this Kai Clan GU Immortal. This time around, he achieved a great effect by doing the same action. Of course, Fang Yuan had to expose his identity regardless. Because he used fixed immortal travel, and also because of the killer moves he was using, there was no use in trying to conceal his identity. Chapter 1770 Kai Kuyu convinces himself. A shallow deep blue lake surrounded by silent verdant mountains. Around the lake were pure white round rocks, they stacked at the river bank. This was a mid-sized resource point of Southern Border's Kai Clan, Contact Heart River Bank. Fang Yuan placed all the GU worms he obtained into his immortal aperture. There were more than 3,000 rank 5 Contact Heart GU, 50,000 rank 4, and over 1,000,000 were rank 3 and below. Next, he used Strength Path Immortal GU Pulling Water. Similar to the previous life, Pulling Water was currently rank 6. After a moment, the river water was pulled up like silk by a formless force, before being moved into Fang Yuan's immortal aperture. This Contact Heart River Bank was a special area filled with Wisdom Path Dao marks. There were Earth Path, Water Path, Wood Path, and other Dao marks as foundation, but they paled in quantity compared to Wisdom Path. Fang Yuan took away the water which had dense Wisdom Path Dao marks, but most of it remained in the surrounding soil. Fang Yuan was without options regarding this. He lacked methods to pull up the ground. This was not mortal soil and it required at least peak rank 7 earth path methods. One had to overcome the wisdom path Tao marks in the soil first. And the method had to be delicate, it could not destroy the wisdom path Tao marks in the soil. If the wisdom path Tao marks were destroyed, the value of the soil would drop. This was like smearing a world-class painting, it would have no value remaining. Specific methods were required to plunder and move resources in the outside world, but destroying them was easier. It was like Heavenly Court's attempt to gain infallible blessed land. Heavenly Court had a method to destroy infallible blessed land, but to extract its success Tao marks, they had to spend a lot of effort and use human path methods. The Central Continent Refinement Path Convention expended a lot of time and effort. Fang Yuan's appearance in plundering Contact Heart River Bank soon reached Kai Kuyu. Kai Kuyu was still slightly hopeful at first, as the information true. Soon, his hopes were completely crushed. Because there was an immortal killer move resembling fixed immortal travel as well as Fang Yuan's signature myriad dragon killer move, those were concrete evidence. Why did this Fang Yuan appear at Contact Heart River Bank? Kai Kuyu's eyes twitched. Does he need a large number of Contact Heart GU? Even though Fang Yuan had rank 7 cultivation level, he was not just a normal rank 7, he could fight rank 8, he was unique. Kai Kuyu thought about the video in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Now that Fang Yuan has re-obtained rank 7 fixed immortal travel, and also apparently has a method to steal immortal GU, if he tries to find trouble with my Kai clan, it would be a problem. Kai Kuyu sighed internally. He had to admit, Fang Yuan was a huge problem. Fixed immortal travel allowed him to travel with ease, only specific methods could restrict him. Fang Yuan also had rank 8 battle strength, most of Kai clan's GU immortals could not fight him, Kai Kuyu himself or a rank 7 immortal GU house was needed. That way, even as a super force, Kai clan only had limited resources to deal with him. As for the theft path method, it should not be Fang Yuan's own ability. Right now, Fang Yuan has not shown any method in this aspect, while Long-Hair Ancestor had refined GU with Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable back then. Langya Blessed Land has a Thieving Heaven true inheritance. Fang Yuan could resist Heavenly Court because he made use of Langya Blessed Land's foundation. Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land, he would still need some time before he can master this Thieving Heaven true inheritance. Kai Kuyu evaluated. He felt that he was really unlucky recently. Fang Yuan had actually targeted his Kai clan out of all the clans. Wasn't this bad luck? Even though Fang Yuan gave Kai Kuyu a huge headache, he had to counterattack. Kai clan's benefits, their righteous path status, and the pride of a rank 8 GU immortal, these reasons forced him to go and defeat Fang Yuan quickly. Kai Kuyu led the expedition personally, controlling Great Space Temple and traveling towards Contact Heart River Bank as soon as possible. The formation was destroyed, it was a ravaged site, everything was in ruins. A vast number of GU worms were gone, Contact Heart River Bank had lost all vitality. The river water was also gone, it had completely dried up, it was truly a sad sight. Even the rocks around the bank were missing. Fang Yuan took literally everything from this place. Kai Kuyu had an ashen expression. The other Kai clan GU immortals started scolding Fang Yuan and cursing his 18 generations of ancestors. This demon is too daring. This is a mid-size resource point of our clan, now that it is plundered, it might not recover even after a few years of time. There is no point in cursing Fang Yuan's 18 generations of ancestors, he is an otherworldly demon, he killed all of his ancestors in this world with his own 2 hands. Kai clan's GU immortals gradually stopped scolding as they frowned at this terrible situation. Contact Heart River Bank was destroyed but its foundation remained. Fang Yuan could not bring the soil here with him. But the problem was Fang Yuan himself. He was still alive, would he show up again? Would he target Kai clan again? Kai clan did not understand even at this point, why did Fang Yuan choose Contact Heart River Bank? Wait, earlier, the mysterious GU immortal who attacked Plunder Shadow Earth Trench and destroyed the formation, was it Fang Yuan? Someone suggested. It is very likely. They are both rank 7 GU immortals with extraordinary battle strength. Fang Yuan also had high formation path attainment, he can definitely destroy both formations. Furthermore, he annexed Langya Blessed Land and has refinement path immortal GU now. Didn't that mysterious GU immortal use refinement path methods? But if that mysterious GU immortal is Fang Yuan, why would he conceal his own appearance when attacking Plunder Shadow Earth Trench? This time when attacking our clan's Contact Heart River Bank, he chose to expose his own identity. Many of Kai clan's GU immortals turned their heads in suspicion. They simply could not understand why. Firstly, there was no evidence that linked the mysterious GU Immortal to Fang Yuan directly. Secondly, Fang Yuan's motive in attacking Contact Heart River Bank was unknown, nobody knew what he was up to. First Supreme Elder, what do we do now? Kai Clan's GU Immortals did not have any answers, they asked Kai Kuyu. Kai Kuyu's expression eased, he had been screaming internally long ago, he also wanted to know what Fang Yuan was planning. By the time they arrived, Fang Yuan was gone already. Kai Kuyu was in a really awkward and passive situation. But on the surface, he had to maintain the dignity of Kai Clan's leader. Don't panic, investigate the scene and search for evidence. Even if Fang Yuan escapes now, our Kai Clan will remember this, he will pay us back 100-fold in the future. Yes, Lord, Kai Clan's GU Immortals answered. The huge Great Space Temple floated in mid-air, not concealing its aura as it displayed Kai Clan's authority in full view. A while later, all the GU Immortals returned with a look of embarrassment. Fang Yuan had done a good job in cleaning up the scene, no clues of value were left. Even if they had clues, could they deduce anything about him? Kai Kuyu bore no hope himself, even Heavenly Court failed to deal with Fang Yuan. Kai Clan specialized in Formation Path, they were weak in Information Path and Wisdom Path aspects. If our Kai Clan wants to regain reputation, we will need to spend a lot on information and clues, before hiring a Wisdom Path great expert to deduce him. After that, we need to set an ambush, go after Fang Yuan and fight him. Sigh, Kai Kuyu sighed internally. Thinking about the process, he felt a little dejected. The price and risks were too high while the gains were minimal. Only rank 8 GU Immortals that were Wisdom Path or Information Path great experts could handle Fang Yuan. People like that would require a huge amount before they would help Kai Clan with this matter. And after finding Fang Yuan, Kai Clan would need to fight him, it was questionable if they could actually kill him. Thunder Ghost True Monarch went after Fang Yuan and got 3 of her rib bones sold in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Heavenly Court wanted to invade Langya Blessed Land and it ended up being annexed by him. Feng Juji's Immortal GU were even stolen by Fang Yuan, while Fairy Ziwei had to openly announce that they lost the battle. What did Kai Clan have? Yes, it was a super force, but could it compare to Heavenly Court? Even Heavenly Court had no options against Fang Yuan, even though Fairy Ziwei hated him to the core, so what? Even though Fang Yuan is a single person, he cultivates many paths, he has no clear weaknesses. He is a cunning and crafty person, he is ruthless and devious, even Wu Yong was toyed around by him. Earlier, even when Southern Border's Righteous Path went after him, he still escaped. I want to go after him with just Kai Clan. Hee. Kai Kuyu felt very angry but also helpless and sad. Fang Yuan had grown too quickly, Kai Kuyu felt extremely deep wariness towards him. Even though Fang Yuan had rank 7 cultivation level, he is more troublesome than most rank 8 GU Immortals. Ordinary rank 8 GU Immortals cultivate one path, they do not have deep wisdom path attainment or fixed immortal travel. If Fang Yuan can stop now and not go after Kai Clan's resources, I should let this go. Kai Kuyu sighed in his heart. He had decided to give up. Contact Heart River Bank was destroyed but its foundation remained, it could still be developed. Or rather, in arrogant terms, it was just a mid-sized resource point, Kai Clan could afford to lose it. Of course, on the surface, we need to be very angry and upset, we will speak righteously and create a commotion, we cannot ruin the reputation of Kai Clan. But secretly, I need to restrain my GU Immortals and keep on guard, we will mainly cultivate and maintain our resources. If during this period, Fang Yuan targets the resources of other clans, that would be great. A moment later, Kai Kuyu made up his mind, he convinced himself on this plan. Making a rank 8 GU Immortal lower his head alongside his super force, it was not easy. But Kai Kuyu was a wise leader, he knew the big picture. There was no benefit in challenging this demon, if Kai Clan mobilized everyone, he could give Fang Yuan huge problems indeed, he could even threaten his life. But Kai Clan would pay an immense price, it would be too much to handle. If this situation happened in Northern Plains, the entire tribe might be riled up, they would attack directly without thinking. But in Southern Border isn't it better to live calmly and peacefully? Even if they lose a mid-sized resource point, Kai Clan still has others, and even countless small-sized, large-sized, and giant resource points. They could live very well. They might lose some reputation but their foundation would be unaffected. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. If Kai Clan went after Fang Yuan with full force and went down with him in flames, the other super forces would benefit and take the advantage, what would they do then? Kai Kuyu let out a breath of air, he wanted to vent out all of his anger and frustrations. Soon, he calmed down. Report. Fang Yuan has appeared at our clan's Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range. He destroyed the formation and our 2 GU Immortals could not resist him. Right now, Fang Yuan is scavenging for all sorts of resources, among which is a newly formed Wildwood Path Immortal GU. Kai Kuyu heard this and his expression froze. His heart that had just calmed down instantly became filled with overwhelming rage. Fang Yuan, screw your entire lineage of ancestors. Chapter 1771 Mature Bamboo Immortal GU. Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range. Fang Yuan floated in the air, an immortal-level enslavement path killer move was shot out everywhere. Pew pew pew. Cloud foxes and other creatures struggled intensely, they had a painful expression as they growled. But soon, their resistance weakened as they stopped moving, they stayed on the spot and lowered their heads as they became Fang Yuan's enslaved beasts. Fang Yuan smiled as he opened his immortal aperture's entrance, the cloud foxes went inside obediently. Not just the cloud foxes, even other lifeforms could not escape from Fang Yuan's demonic claws. Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range was a huge large-sized resource point, it was filled with dense Dao marks, it was normal for desolate beasts and plants to grow here, even ancient desolate beasts could grow. Fang Yuan quickly scavenged the area, with his previous life's memories, he clearly recalled the location of these desolate beasts and plants. Soon, he obtained 7 desolate beast cloud foxes, a total of 11 desolate plants of 3 species, cloud chi root, white hair root, and spear tip bamboo. The thing that made Fang Yuan the happiest was the quantity of a rank 7 immortal material, cloud soil, it was huge. I have a lot of time left. Fang Yuan calculated his time. In the previous life, he had spent a lot of time just getting these resources. But now, because it was his second time, he obtained everything rapidly and efficiently, he saved a lot of time. In the previous life, I only searched through briefly, this mountain range has a lot of untouched places. Fang Yuan explored the foreign area and soon found a desolate beast cloud fox. He was about to use an enslavement path killer move to suppress it when Langya Land Spirit's voice resounded from the immortal aperture. Master, I have already obtained the name of this new wood path immortal GU, it is a rank 6 immortal GU known as Mature Bamboo. GU are the essence of heaven and earth, undeniably, Mature Bamboo immortal GU was the greatest treasure on this Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range. In the previous life, Fang Yuan was obstructed by Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range's formation, he could not make it in time. The 2 Kai clan GU immortals defending this place were resolute, while escaping, they destroyed the newly formed wild immortal GU. But now, Fang Yuan noticed this and targeted the formation's weakness immediately, destroying it and gaining control over that newly formed wild immortal GU. The 2 Kai clan GU immortals were stunned, the formation was destroyed too quickly. This formation could block Fang Yuan for a while in the previous life, but it was fixed and since Fang Yuan already destroyed it once, he understood its concept, he could easily destroy it this time. After getting it for a while, the wild immortal GU that was newly formed was refined by him on the spot. Immortal GU Mature Bamboo, it was the size of an average person's thumb. It was long and flat, at the tip of its head was a cylinder that covered its entire head, its eyes were in a hemispherical shape. Fang Yuan played with it in his hand, its body and wings were very soft, it had 6 armor plates on its stomach, its tail glowed with a dim green light. All in all, this Mature Bamboo Immortal GU was a firefly that shined with green light. Not bad, this Immortal GU is useful to me. Fang Yuan had a joyful expression. Fang Yuan killed Chen Yi and obtained his soul, he had been soul-searching. Chen Yi was the first supreme elder of Heavenly Lotus sect, in his youth, he had obtained a Genesis Lotus true inheritance, Karma Divine Tree. During the battle in Langya Blessed Land, he obtained another Genesis Lotus true inheritance, Karma Relocation. Thus, Fang Yuan had 2 Genesis Lotus true inheritances now. But the foundation of Karma Relocation was Karma Divine Tree. The core Immortal GU of these 2 killer moves, other than the 2 Rule Path Immortal GU cause and effect, were some Wood Path GU. Chen Yi died, his phantom aperture vanished, he had already destroyed all his GU worms, Fang Yuan had to collect these GU worms if he wanted to cultivate the Genesis Lotus true inheritances. The Mortal GU were simple, but Immortal GU needed preparation. Mature Bamboo Immortal GU was a Wood Path GU suitable for his Genesis Lotus true inheritance cultivation. By the time Kai Kuyu arrived at Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range using Great Space Temple, Fang Yuan was already gone. Kai Clan's GU Immortals looked at Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range in a daze. Many people opened their eyes widely, showing deep disbelief. It is completely barren, this is Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range. What happened to our flourishing Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range? An old GU Immortal almost coughed blood as he said shakily, I had once stayed here to develop the mountain range. I spent so much effort, but this thief Fang Yuan took it all. Fang Yuan, you demon, I will never let you off. Someone thought about it and said solemnly, we planted normal cloud bamboos here on a huge scale, only specific woodpath methods can extract them so quickly. Fang Yuan came totally prepared. In the previous life, Fang Yuan lacked woodpath methods. Eventually, a vast amount of ordinary cloud bamboos were left on the mountain. He could only take the desolate plants. But this time, with the advantage of rebirth, he came amply prepared. Fang Yuan had purposely designed a woodpath immortal killer move to collect the cloud bamboos. His woodpath attainment level was not high, but with the light of wisdom, he could still create a rank 6 killer move targeting mortal materials very easily. He annexed Langya Blessed Land. He obtained several woodpath immortal GU, they were all useful in this regard. Langya Blessed Land had a huge inventory. The white-haired land spirit had governed the blessed land for hundreds of thousands of years. He had several immortal GU of each mainstream path. They were not a complementary group. The land spirit had refined them in preparation for any refinement path research problems. Fang Yuan had once borrowed wood sprout immortal GU to use the killer move Light Fungus Radiance. Kai Kuyu's expression was completely dark, his fists were tightly clenched under his sleeves. Fang Yuan, he gritted his teeth, his illusions were shattered. Fang Yuan was targeting Kai Clan. But Kai Kuyu could not understand why Fang Yuan was targeting him and Kai Clan. When they pursued him back when he was weak, everyone in Southern Border's righteous path was involved. Wu Yong was the person with the deepest enmity with him. Why didn't he attack them? If he thought Wu Clan was too strong, he could bully the weaker ones like Chao Clan. Kai Clan was not weak, it was upper tier even among Southern Border's righteous path. Who did they offend? Why was he doing this? What did they do wrong? Couldn't he tell them? Couldn't he just talk nicely? Communication was the key to human relationships. These types of people were the worst. Attacking without warning, destroying and plundering without making a single sound. Why did he do that? He was a true scumbag. Not just Kai Kuyu, all the other Kai Clan GU immortals felt very upset and wronged. Fang Yuan is clearly targeting us, he has made ample preparations. The question is, what is he after? We need to know this is the first obstacle for us in dealing with Fang Yuan. Kai Kuyu thought about it, he said. He gave up on his previous mentality, he decided to deal with Fang Yuan with all his strength. If they did not do anything, Kai Kuyu would not be able to account to the clan. Demonic path GU immortals often traveled alone, but the righteous path had to maintain a force, one could not live freely by one's own intentions. Kai Kuyu, for example, even though he was rank 8, he had his bloodline descendants to take care of. And Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range was not just a large resource point for Kai Clan. Back when Kai Clan was still in its infancy period, Kai Clan's ancestors had scrimped and saved when they were weak to slowly develop it. Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range had provided a stable source of income for Kai Clan's development. Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range was the glorious history of Kai Clan, it was a form of mental encouragement to Kai Clan's members. Fang Yuan plundered Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range, he was trampling on the pride and history of Kai Clan's GU immortals. Right at this moment, Kai Kuyu and the rest received requests for reinforcements from Kai Clan's GU immortals again. Report. Fang Yuan has appeared at Wind Flame Mountain, he is currently using the killer move Myriad Dragon to attack the formation. Report. Fang Yuan has appeared outside Ragged Cave, he was obstructed by the formation and has mysteriously vanished. Different from earlier, Fang Yuan suddenly appeared at 2 locations. Kai Clan's GU immortals were very shocked and suspicious, how could there be 2 Fang Yuan? One is a fake and one is his true body. Or maybe it is Fang Yuan's clone. That's possible too. No, according to the timing, Fang Yuan first appeared at Ragged Cave before he used fixed immortal travel to arrive at Wind Flame Mountain. Kai Kuyu analyzed calmly. That means Fang Yuan is still at Wind Flame Mountain. We need to reinforce it immediately. But why did he teleport to Ragged Cave then? Isn't that unnecessary? Maybe he felt that Ragged Cave's defensive formation was too strong, so he chose the easier Wind Flame Mountain. No, these are both giant resource points, their defensive formation are equally strong, there is no weaker one. Kai Kuyu thought about it before a thought flashed in his mind. He said plainly, split up and help them. That is the only way. If the giant resource point is looted by Fang Yuan too, our Kai Clan will lose too much. But is this Fang Yuan's scheme? He wants to divert us away. Fang Yuan's current strength is far beyond the time when he chased after all. Even someone like Feng Ju Jie lost so terribly to him. Kai Clan's GU immortals were hesitant, they were very wary towards Fang Yuan. Should we seek reinforcements? Suddenly, a GU Immortal asked. The whole of Great Space Temple sank into silence. This was something that most of the GU Immortals were thinking, but did not dare to say. Amidst the silence, the Immortals looked towards Kai Kuyu. Kai Kuyu had a dark expression as he shouted, "He is just a rank 7 GU Immortal. Our clan has only lost 2 resource points and you are all frantic already, you want to seek outside reinforcements. We cannot afford to lose our reputation like this. Did anyone die? Are we only left with the old and weak? Seeking reinforcements without even fighting against Fang Yuan once. Where is your courage? Where is your bravery? Where are your pride and glory as Kai clan members?" The Immortals lowered their heads in silence, they took Kai Kuyu's fierce scolding. After Kai Kuyu scolded them, he gave orders, "Do as I say. I am going to Wind Flame Mountain now, you all will travel in Great Space Temple and go to help Ragged Cave. Act quickly and do not panic, the defensive formation of a giant resource point is not so fragile. Keep in touch at all times." Yes, Lord, nobody disagreed with his order. With their current location, Wind Flame Mountain was closer while Ragged Cave was further. Thus, the Space Path Immortal GU House Great Space Temple would go to Ragged Cave while Kai Kuyu, who was slower, would go to help Wind Flame Mountain. Chapter 1772 done in by himself. Kai Kuyu went to Wind Flame Mountain at full speed. When he arrived, he saw that Fang Yuan had already destroyed half the formation. Fang Yuan was currently uprooting the sunset parasol trees. He stole the countless birds within the parasol forest, including the fire phoenixes, with incredible efficiency. The GU Immortal defending this place had not left, he was attacking Fang Yuan fiercely using the remaining formation. Fang Yuan was able to deal with it easily. He dealt with the formation while looting resources continuously. "Stop," Kai Kuyu shouted with startled anger. "First Supreme Elder, you are finally here." The rank 7 GU Immortal defending this place was extremely agitated, he was overcome with tears. He was at first confident in regards to the defensive formation, but after a while, Fang Yuan easily broke it. He was incredibly scared and desperate, he did not dare to act rashly. Before Kai Kuyu came, he had been defending himself. Now that the Supreme Elder was here, he attacked with some flashy methods. As Kai Kuyu had finally arrived, Fang Yuan stopped his actions. "Fang Yuan, what a great job you've done. Retribution is here." Kai Kuyu's eyes were spewing fire. Wind Flame Mountain was quite a special resource point. Other than raising phoenixes, at a certain timing each year, many wild phoenixes would come here and lay eggs. If something happened to Wind Flame Mountain, the wild phoenixes might choose other locations, Kai clan would suffer great losses. But Fang Yuan was smiling throughout. Compared to the previous life, Kai Kuyu was more angry because Fang Yuan's efficient looting meant that Kai clan suffered even greater losses. Kai Kuyu felt pained from this. "Senior Kai Kuyu, I have been waiting for you, this is my move," Fang Yuan said as he activated Yama Battlefield. Kai Kuyu hesitated for a moment but did not dodge. He allowed Yama Battlefield to envelop him as he said, "Let me see what you're made of." Yama Battlefield formed quickly, a huge yellow-brown lump enveloped both Fang Yuan and Kai Kuyu. Next, Yama Battlefield shrunk rapidly, condensing from a yellow-brown lump into a tiny spot. It was like an immortal aperture that was placed outside, vanishing entirely without a trace. "An amazing soul path battlefield," Kai Kuyu praised. Kai Kuyu's arms were behind his back as he stood calmly. His attitude had changed tremendously. Even though he was trapped in Yama Battlefield, he did not try to forcefully deduce it, he looked very much at ease. He was wary internally, to think that Fang Yuan even had a battlefield killer move. There was no information about this at all. At this point in time, different from the previous life, Fang Yuan's Yama Battlefield was not exposed. Last time, he used Yama Battlefield to trap Feng Juzhe. Not only did he expose this method, Fairy Ziwei deduced and broke it successfully. After the battle in Langya Blessed Land, Fairy Ziwei even exposed the profundities of Yama Battlefield and the method to break it in Treasure Yellow Heaven openly, causing Fang Yuan's Yama Battlefield to lose its value in battle. The risk of using it was much higher. And in this life, even though Fang Yuan used Yama Battlefield multiple times, his targets were Meng Tu, Sleeping Lady, and the Diamond Head Turtle. They were either killed or captured. Against Feng Juzhe, he used the super formation space and could not activate Yama Battlefield. Thus, this method was kept a secret until now. Now that Fang Yuan used it, it was finally known to the outside world. Fang Yuan was not going to kill Kai Kuyu. Information about Yama Battlefield was definitely going to spread. Of course, it was not that Fang Yuan could not kill Kai Kuyu, but the risks were too high and the reward was minimal. This was the same reason for Kai Kuyu, who did not want to face Fang Yuan earlier. When two tigers fought, one was definitely going to be injured. Fang Yuan stood at the end of the other side of the battlefield as he assessed Kai Kuyu, smiling. Lord Kai Kuyu, you are inside my immortal battlefield now, why are you not attempting to retaliate? Instead, you look like you want to talk. Why is that so? Kai Kuyu snorted coldly. Stop pretending. Fang Yuan, you went around plundering for the sake of gaining my attention. Thinking about it, since you could easily break the defensive formation, why did you not take the lives of my Kai clan's GU immortals? This is not hard to achieve, but you did not think of killing a single one of them. Furthermore, be it Contact Heart River Bank, Cloud Bamboo Mountain Range, or Wind Flame Mountain, even though you looted them clean, you left their foundation behind untouched. Both Great Space Temple and I went out at the same time, that was part of your plan. Seeing that we were together, you attacked Wind Flame Mountain and Ragged Cave at the same time, so that we would have to split up. You were merely finding a chance to talk with me, but did not have any special method to do so. Tell me, what is it that you want? Kai Kuyu spoke calmly. Before splitting up, he had already guessed Fang Yuan's intention, all that anger and hatred was just an act. Kai Kuyu's analysis was mostly right. In the previous life, when Plunder Shadow Earth Trench was still around, Kai Kuyu defended it for some time, only after Fang Yuan attacked Wind Flame Mountain did he show up. This time, Fang Yuan took down Plunder Shadow Earth Trench in advance, but because Kai Kuyu and Great Space Temple were together, it was quite troublesome. Great Space Temple was a Space Path Immortal GU house, it countered immortal battlefields. Fang Yuan had fought against it in his previous life, even Great Thief Ghost Hand was unable to counter it. If Fang Yuan wanted to talk to Kai Kuyu, the best way was to avoid this house and find a chance to lure Kai Kuyu out alone. This was not hard for Fang Yuan. With his deep wisdom path attainment, he could easily achieve his target with some adjustment in thinking. But Kai Kuyu was wrong about one thing. Fang Yuan did not leave behind the foundation of the resource points on purpose, but because he had no way of taking them. Kai Kuyu had misunderstood it. Of course, Fang Yuan would not correct him. Clap clap. Fang Yuan started to clap. It is so easy talking to a smart person. Senior Kai Kuyu, take a look at this. Kai Kuyu's eyes flickered with uncertainty, he carefully received the information path mortal GU that Fang Yuan tossed out. He seemed at ease now, but he was very alert in his mind. Even though Fang Yuan had rank 7, cultivation level, Kai Kuyu knew how devious this lad was. He was crafty and ruthless, he needed to be guarded against, one could not relax around him. But soon, Kai Kuyu's expression changed. He started to frown, a cold light flashed in his eyes as his expression turned dark. The information path mortal GU that Fang Yuan gave him included the details of Kai clan's defensive formations, as well as Fang Yuan's conjectures and methods of breaking them. Among which was Wind Flame Mountain's formation. Fang Yuan understood it very well. With his understanding, he could easily destroy the defensive formation and take all of the resources within, but he did not do that. From this point, Kai Kuyu could see Fang Yuan's sincerity, it confirmed his guesses while also showing that Fang Yuan had shocking formation path attainment. And the thing that ruined his mood was the latter part of this information path mortal GU. These contents were very detailed about Kai clan's information. Kai Kuyu felt a chill in his heart. This was not something he could get from a little investigation, a lot of time was needed to accumulate such a rich pool of information. And in this information, the emphasis on Kai clan's internal problem, the fact that Kai Kuyu had no successor, was the main issue. This made Kai Kuyu's expression change, he was deeply shocked. Because the information was just too detailed, very clearly, someone in southern border was helping Fang Yuan, secretly providing this. Who was it? Demonic Path GU Immortals were very unlikely, they were loners and did not have much of a grudge with Kai clan, there was no need to observe Kai clan and waste their own cultivation time. Other than those predatory righteous path forces, who else can it be? Kai Kuyu was filled with shock and rage, Yang clan soon became his biggest suspicion. Kai Kuyu felt deep anger. If a certain southern border righteous path super force was secretly helping Fang Yuan, this situation would become much more passive for him. Very likely, my Kai clan has no traitor, it is these vicious righteous path clans that are trying to attack my Kai clan using this sharp blade. These idiots, these fools, these traitors, they are the biggest parasites of southern border's righteous path. Kai Kuyu's anger was like an erupting volcano, the lava was spewing out endlessly. He was already restraining himself, if Fang Yuan was not here, he might be shaking intensely. Fang Yuan laughed secretly, He observed carefully and assessed Kai Kuyu's current mood and thoughts. He had a general idea. This information that he gave out needed a lot of manpower and resources to obtain over a long time. The truth was, there was no Southern Border Righteous Path clan helping him. He had obtained the information from the Southern Border Immortals when he captured them in the previous life. Fang Yuan was definitely going to use this hidden card well. As he had expected, once he used this card, the effect was immediately. Kai Kuyu's expression turned dark, his calm attitude was no more. I'm sure that right now, Kai Kuyu must hate these Southern Border Righteous Path clans much more than me. That is only natural. Throughout history, almost all organizations would hate traitors the most. But the truth is, this was merely one of my gains from the previous life. And I was able to capture those Southern Border Immortals because of the dream realms that Kai Kuyu had provided to me. The culprit was really just Kai Kuyu himself. Kai Kuyu's expression was very ugly, he was emitting an intense air of tragedy. He was done in by himself, but he could not sense it. Fang Yuan spoke again. Lord Kai Kuyu has been famous for a long time, you have governed Kai clan for so long, you must be sure of the value of this information. The force that gave this information to me is not just underestimating me, they are also underestimating you, Lord Kai Kuyu. Kai Kuyu heard this, he had a thought, it seems that Fang Yuan does not like being made use of. Unknowingly, he did not hate Fang Yuan that much anymore. Fang Yuan continued, now, do you believe in my sincerity? Kai Kuyu thought about Kai clan's losses, he felt pained, he squinted as he sneered at Fang Yuan, hee, does that mean I should thank you for holding back? Fang Yuan smiled. Chapter 1773 Fang Yuan's Epiphany. Within Yama battlefield, two immortals stood on opposite sides. Fang Yuan sighed. We have limited time, I will say this directly, I want to make a transaction with Kai clan, are you interested in my dream path research results? Kai Kuyu was slightly stunned before his cold and icy gaze changed slightly. Dream path, did I hear wrongly? A flash of excitement flickered in Kai Kuyu's eyes for a moment. Fang Yuan's dream path research results were not a secret by now. When he disguised as Wu Yihai, his goal was the dream realm. Fang Yuan had methods to turn dream realms into people, he had used it back in the battle over the dream realms, many super forces were extremely envious of his method. Fang Yuan had Spring Autumn Cicada, he had been reborn from the future which had a flourishing dream path, it was not strange that he had some dream path mysteries. One could say, Fang Yuan's dream path research results were at the peak of the 5 regions, far ahead of this world. The mysteries of dream realms and the depth of dream path, I have only made slight progress in it. What if I told Senior that my formation path attainment level was obtained from the dream realm, what do you think? Fang Yuan smiled as he spoke casually, it was like a huge rock that splashed into Kai Kuyu's heart, creating a huge commotion. Oh, is that true? Kai Kuyu was moved, he could not hold his cool anymore. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, he had meticulously crafted this conversation to lower Kai Kuyu's aggression, at this point, he had complete control over the flow of the conversation. This was different from the previous life. Fang Yuan tossed out an information path GU worm, Senior, take a look. Kai Kuyu received it and his gaze flickered, he unconsciously grasped the information path Mortal GU in his hand, as if afraid that it would fly off. The information path Mortal GU had all sorts of details regarding dream path mysteries, it was incredibly attractive. Kai Kuyu was completely drawn into it, he quickly finished looking through. Kai Kuyu licked his lips, he felt that his throat had gotten dry after this short while. He was incredibly moved. Kai Kuyu forced himself to stay calm as he purposely asked, what transaction do you want? I want dream realms, give me dream realms and I'll give you the dream path research results of the future. Kai Kuyu did not agree instantly, he said, this is difficult, almost all of Southern Border's dream realms are being guarded by the Righteous Path super forces. Fang Yuan smiled, Senior Kai, I want the dream realms on Yitian Mountain. Even though the formations there have changed, you are the person in charge. I also know that there are many hidden backdoors, it will be easy for your clan to steal some dream realms without any problems. Kai Kuyu heard this, his expression changed again. Fang Yuan understood the situation so clearly. It was really terrifying. The backdoors at Yitian Mountain's formation were Kai Kuyu's proud creation. He had created them under the eyes of all the Southern Border forces, he was bullying their lack of formation path expertise, these backdoors were set up in secret. I thought I deceived everyone, but to think that Fang Yuan saw through it. Maybe not just Fang Yuan sigh, I have underestimated the geniuses of this world. Kai Kuyu was overthinking it. Fang Yuan's information was obtained in his previous life, it was given to him by Kai Kuyu himself. Fang Yuan used Kai Kuyu's information against him, it was really useful. Otherwise, why would there be the saying, your biggest enemy is often yourself? Fang Yuan continued to pressure Kai Kuyu as he lost his resistance. Every negotiation was a battle, even though it was not as straightforward as fighting, it was still a contest of strength in terms of wits and tactics. Compared to the previous life, Fang Yuan had too much advantage, he was stronger now because of his information, he knew his opponent well, his tactic of putting up a front was incredibly effective. Even a person like Kai Kuyu had fallen victim to it. The transaction was quickly negotiated, it was very advantageous to Fang Yuan in the end. Kai Kuyu agreed to the transaction, but for his status, this was humiliating. But there was no choice, Fang Yuan had a strong hold over him. Firstly, he could not do anything to Fang Yuan, even if he tried to deal with him, the risks were too high, the gains were marginal. Secondly, if he worked with Fang Yuan, he would stop plundering Kai clan, they would even gain some dream path research results, this was too attractive to Kai Kuyu. Finally, Kai Kuyu was still worried about the so-called traitors in southern border's righteous path, he wanted to find these traitors. He might be able to find them through Fang Yuan. Sovereign Immortal Aperture, Mini Southern Border. A mountain was empty and bare, it had no vegetation and stood proudly on the ground. Around it, the ground was not flat, there were some contours but the inclination was limited, there were just some small mounds. Because of these mounds, this empty mountain looked even larger in perspective. Right now, at the peak of this empty mountain, a rank 6 Rockman Gu Immortal stood as he looked up at the sky. After becoming a grotto heaven, this immortal aperture truly became different from a blessed land. It is so grand and magnificent. The size of this sovereign immortal aperture is beyond logical, it is unimaginably big, worthy of the miracle created by spectral soul demon Venerable. Every time Shi Cheng looked at this place, he would sigh internally. This was majestic, this was a miracle, this was simply a divine construct. He was completely awed by spectral soul demon Venerable, he had no thoughts of resisting Fang Yuan at all. Behind him was a group of Rockman Gu masters, they were talking among themselves. After spending more than 10 days, we have finally constructed this mountain. I am so tired, we had to work from early in the morning to late at night every day. I heard that the creation of this mountain was a mission given by that supreme being. In order to complete it quickly, we paid a huge price and activated GU worms continuously, at least 30 Earth Path GU worms died in the process. Speaking of which, don't you feel that refining GU here has a high chance of success? Sigh, there will be rewards when we complete the sect missions. I hope that the Supreme GU Immortal would give us some valuable rewards. Quiet, do you think you are qualified to discuss matters regarding that great lord? The Rockman GU Immortal could not take it anymore, he scolded. These Rockman GU masters quickly lowered their heads, becoming silent from fear. At this time, green light flickered as a figure descended from the sky, floating in the air. The Rockman Gu masters looked up, it was Fang Yuan's rank 6 time path clone. Everyone's hearts jumped as they quickly knelt down, paying their respects. This subordinate greets Lord, Shi Cheng quickly greeted with a humble attitude. Fang Yuan's clone had a plain expression, he nodded and asked, has the formation been completed? Fang Yuan's mission was not just to create an artificial mountain, they had to set up an immortal formation in the interior of the mountain. Shi Cheng quickly reported, Lord, I have already set up this fire path formation according to the formation chart you provided, you just need to activate it now. Fang Yuan had already used his divine sense to penetrate the mountain, he was already looking into it. He nodded, he was quite satisfied with the setup of this formation, he was about to get these rockmen to leave, but he saw that Shi Cheng wanted to speak, although he did not dare to. Shi Cheng had rank 6 cultivation level but he had once fought against Fang Yuan, his immortal battlefield Grey Cloud Rock Puppet left Fang Yuan a deep impression, he was quite talented. After moving the rockmen, Fang Yuan sent the Rockman Gu Immortals to the Stone Lotus Island to familiarize themselves with future self. Meanwhile, Shi Cheng stayed behind, he was the leader of the Rockman tribe, similar to Shui and Mo Tan Sang in their own tribes. You have something to say to me? Fang Yuan's clone stopped as he asked, he had some patience towards this talented person. Shi Cheng blinked as his expression turned uneasy, he made up his mind as he said, I heard that Lord has been on the offensive and gained great victories, the southern border righteous path is extremely fearful now. Even that Kai clan first supreme elder Kai Kuyu was helpless against you, he could only watch as you left freely. Fang Yuan's eyes flashed with bright light. He was such a shrewd person, how could he not understand Shi Cheng's words? He interrupted, "Your tribe's GU immortals want me to stop and live peacefully, there is no need to take such risks, am I right?" "Oh, I beg for forgiveness." Shi Cheng bowed deeply, he had an expression of fear. "This was my own bold idea, the Supreme Elders are all cultivating at the Stone Lotus Island, they are unaware." Fang Yuan's clone sneered internally. The rockmen had different ideas to him, they wanted to live in peace and develop slowly and stably, they hated risks. They would love nothing more than for Fang Yuan to hide in a cave and cultivate for a century or a millennium. They did not want Fang Yuan to take risks, because if he died, the sovereign immortal aperture would be exposed, they would all be implicated. But how could this be possible? Fang Yuan pursued eternal life, this was only possible after destroying Fate GU. If Heavenly Court fully repaired Fate GU, they would not let him off, they would find him one day and kill him. Hiding and stalling would only lead to despair. Only during the final Central Continent Refinement Path Convention would Central Continent be attacked by all 4 regions. When Heavenly Court is at its weakest, he would have a chance of success if he acted. The variant humans' wish would not come true. Not only that, they would have to fight for Fang Yuan in the future. They were already tied to him now, they could not isolate themselves. Shi Cheng's words was actually the idea of many variant human GU immortals. They used Shi Cheng to suggest it instead of saying it themselves, it was a way to keep themselves safe. It was a mature political tactic. Fang Yuan did not reject nor agree to anything, he waved his hand, "Bring the elites of the tribe and leave this mountain." Yes, seeing that Shi Cheng had taken some distance, Fang Yuan's clone started to activate the mountain's formation. Instantly, the formation became a furnace, intense heat was emitted from it. This heat quickly charred in the interior of the mountain, creating waves of molten magma. A moment later, with an explosion, the top of the mountain erupted, smoke rose into the sky as gushes of lava flowed down the mountain, the temperature rose sharply. The Rockman GU masters watched from afar, they gasped, this method of changing the natural environment and creating a volcano out of nothing was truly stunning. Even Shi Cheng was deeply moved, his formation path attainment was low, at this point, he finally realized the use of the formation that he set up. But the more shocking thing happened next. A huge hand appeared in the sky over the mountain, it was as large as the mountain as the 5 fingers spread out, scattering countless trees onto the volcano. These trees were covered in a flowing light, they landed softly and planted into the lava itself. The terrifying lava was quickly absorbed by the roots as the trees took in all the nutrients, soon, branches extended as leaves grew, they gave out the beautiful light of the setting sun. These were sunset parasol trees. A moment later, more hands flew out as they scattered fire phoenixes all over the volcano. One by one, the fire phoenixes landed on the top of the volcano, they were quickly suppressed and sealed by the formation. The entire process was overlooked by Fang Yuan's clone, no unexpected mishaps occurred. Shi Cheng opened his mouth wide, he looked at this scene with a dumbfounded expression. Even though he knew that Fang Yuan had advanced to rank 8, it was not as shocking as witnessing this himself. There were ancient desolate beasts among these fire phoenixes, just a single one could slaughter Shi Cheng without any problem. Finally, Fang Yuan's clone left behind a large number of fire path birds of all types, there was a huge variety of them. From now onwards, this will be known as Firebird Mountain, it is your Rockman tribe's resource point. Fang Yuan's clone flew towards Shi Cheng. This was a huge surprise. Shi Cheng quickly knelt down and thanked him, he was very excited. Fang Yuan's clone smiled. "Get up, I said before that I would help all of you. This mid-sized resource point is my reward to you for your hard work of creating the mountain." This subordinate is ashamed. Shi Cheng was incredibly thankful, compared to this Firebird Mountain, the hard work that they had put in was truly insignificant. The GU worms used to create the formation of this Firebird Mountain, the formation chart used, and all the resources provided had all come from Fang Yuan, this was akin to his gift to them. Fang Yuan's clone added, "I will continue to give you missions in the future, Firebird Mountain is not the final one." Shi Cheng was dazed, there was deep meaning in Fang Yuan's words. Where did the fire phoenixes and sunset parasol trees come from? He had plundered them. Fang Yuan said that Firebird Mountain was not the final one, he meant that he would continue to plunder and take risks. The variant human GU immortals gave Fang Yuan very subtle advice. Fang Yuan's rejection was also very subtle, but if one looked into it, they could see how domineering and intimidating Fang Yuan's response was. Shi Cheng did not dare to contradict him, he even felt a little joy after receiving this gift. With this Firebird Mountain, my Rockman tribe can finally rise up. How can Lord Fang Yuan be someone that is so easily convinced and shaken? That is not my problem. Lord Fang Yuan has given me the task of leading the tribe. These resources are also my cultivation resources. As long as I do not go overboard, I can definitely cultivate rapidly and raise my cultivation level. Shi Cheng had a heated gaze. Any GU immortal would treasure and feel deep desire towards their own battle strength under the pressure of the calamities and tribulations. Due to Fang Yuan's political tactic, Shi Cheng had already been separated from the other Rockman GU immortals. The Rockmen were suitable for managing Firebird Mountain. The temperature of the earth around the volcano was hot. It was a good place for Rockmen to sleep in. Of course, Eggmen were the most suitable for managing volcanoes. But currently, Fang Yuan had no intention of bringing in Eggmen. It was sufficient to develop these variant human groups now. Shi Cheng's words gave Fang Yuan quite some insight. Different from my previous life, this time around, I took in many variant human tribes. I need to nurture and strengthen them. I also need to divert some attention and resources to them. Fang Yuan could use enslavement path methods to subdue all these variant human tribes, but in that case, he would lose any chance of nurturing them as it is. I want to comprehend human path. It is not like enslavement path. Everybody has their own thoughts and desires. To maintain an organization, I will need to consider the thoughts and emotions of the members in this organization. There are no two completely identical individuals, no matter how similar, people are different in their own ways. Fang Yuan suddenly had a thought. A flash of inspiration sparked in his mind like lightning, brightening his entire mind. It was the epiphany of human path. Suddenly, Fang Yuan understood a certain point. He had a complex expression. Human path, so that's it, I had a human path killer move all along. At this moment, his human path attainment level rose to master. Human path master. Chapter 1774. Eerie light under her eyes. Southern border. On a nameless mountain, there was the noise of a waterfall as mist spread out widely. At the cliff of the waterfall, Fang Yuan's main body sat on a pine tree branch as he thought deeply. The human path inspiration came abruptly. Fang Yuan placed great importance on it. His main body and clone stopped what they were doing and thought about it together. At this moment, inside the sovereign immortal aperture, an army had formed. There were 100,000 strength path phantoms. They stood on the grassland unmoving, like solid statues. They all had the same faces. They resembled Fang Yuan's main body. They stood in an orderly formation with the same distance between each one. This was Fang Yuan's myriad self army created from using myriad self immortal GU. Fang Yuan grasped onto that inspiration as he stopped myriad self immortal GU, activating myriad self killer move instead. In a while, a larger number of strength path phantoms formed again. Fang Yuan thought about it before using myriad self killer move for a third time. But this time, he did not use the immortal level killer move, but the original mortal killer move instead. Rank 4 all-out effort GU was the core, with the supplementary bitter strength GU, borrow strength GU, self-reliance GU, refine essence spirit GU, earth strength GU, water strength GU, wind strength GU, lightning strength GU, fire strength GU, lurking soul coat GU, breath concealment GU. Eventually creating the killer move myriad self, splitting the main body's soul into a grand army of strength path phantoms. But because it was a mortal killer move, these strength path phantoms were far inferior to the previous phantom army. But this was the origin. Back then, during the Northern Plains Imperial Court contest, Fang Yuan combined 6-arm Heavenly Zombie King and self-strength, using Soul Path, Wisdom Path, Chi Path, and Enslavement Path killer moves as reference, solving the age-old question of combining enslavement and strength, creating this move. Next, using the foundation of this move, he developed Strength Path Giant Hand and Reverse Flow Protection Seal. The former gave Fang Yuan a new offensive method at the appropriate timing and was his strongest method for some time. The latter was the crucial trump card to Fang Yuan's ability to fight rank 8 as a rank 7. Be they Myriad Self, Strength Path Giant Hand, or Reverse Flow Protection Seal, they were very exceptional. They were top tier even among top tier killer moves. Right now, Fang Yuan gained some human path inspiration. He traced its source and modified the original version of the mortal killer move Myriad Self once again. Fang Yuan's main body and clone deduced together. At the same time, his clone was bathed in the light of wisdom. The killer move soon became modified. Fang Yuan activated Myriad Self for the 4th time. This time, he created a Strength Path Phantom army again, but different from the first 3. Even though this army was standing quietly, the individuals had various expressions of all sorts. Some were crying, some were laughing, some were frowning, some were smiling, some had killing intent, some were expressionless, some were resting with their eyes shut, some had peaceful expressions, some had darting eyes, curious about everything around them, while some were sighing and grunting, looking extremely bored. Fang Yuan's divine sense swept through these phantoms, countless thoughts sparked in his mind like lightning. After a while, Fang Yuan and his clone abandoned these phantom armies, activating wisdom path methods to deduce once more. This deduction took 6 hours. After succeeding the deduction, Fang Yuan obtained an extremely complex mortal myriad self-killer move that was many times the size of the original in terms of GU worms. He activated this killer move. Because this killer move had too many GU worms, the arrangements were too complex. Even as a rank 8 GU immortal, Fang Yuan only succeeded after a long while. This time, the myriad self-phantoms were far fewer in numbers than the original 3 versions, but they all had individuality in them. Some of these myriad self-phantoms were running, jumping, sitting and thinking, playing around, some were even angry and furious, attacking the surrounding myriad self-phantoms and creating huge chaos. The chaos among the myriad self-phantoms grew rapidly. After a while, these myriad self-phantoms were all engaged in a huge brawl. Even though some did not want to participate, they had no choice. These myriad self-phantoms did not have the same strength, some were stronger, some were weaker. Bright light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes. He found that in this chaotic battle, the myriad self-phantoms who won became stronger, while those who lost became weaker, or even got destroyed. The myriad self-phantoms fell in numbers rapidly. Soon, less than 10 phantoms were still fighting intensely. Eventually, only one phantom stood on the battlefield, all the rest of the phantoms were destroyed. This phantom was tens of times stronger than before, but it was still at the mortal level. The phantom looked identical to Fang Yuan, but it was filled with anger and hatred. It roared at Fang Yuan's time path clone, showing deep killing intent and animosity, but it did not dare to attack. It charged towards the previous few groups of myriad self-phantoms. These myriad self-phantoms stood quietly and without orders from Fang Yuan. They did not move, they allowed the angry phantom to attack them. After slaughtering them all, this angry phantom's aura grew time and again. It broke the limits of the mortal level and reached the level of a rank 6 GU immortal. Seeing this, Fang Yuan's main body and clone both showed joy on their faces. Fang Yuan's clone waved. The remaining myriad self-army moved like a tide, surrounding the angry phantom and fighting it to the death. The angry phantom had outstanding strength. Even though it was encircled, it continued to fight without fear. With every phantom it destroyed, it grew a little stronger. It did not know fatigue. It was like a fighting machine that kept growing. It growled and roared, continuing to stand on the battlefield. Eventually, after it broke through from rank 6 to 7, Fang Yuan's main body finally moved, activating a killer move and personally killing this strength path phantom. This fourth myriad self-killer move that Fang Yuan used created very unique strength path phantoms that had their own thoughts and personalities. Even his main body could not control them. And amazingly, all of them had terrifying potential for growth. The angry phantom started out at rank 4 level, but it eventually grew to reach the level of a rank 7 GU immortal. Of course, only its aura and level broke through. Its own battle strength was not too high, it was even weaker than ordinary ancient desolate beasts. Because its body was phantom, it was not as sturdy as an ancient desolate beast. It was also limited in intelligence. It could not use GU worms to fight, it only had battle instinct. Be it myriad self-immortal GU or myriad self-killer move, they both expend my soul. This is the basis of the killer move. It is a flaw that cannot be avoided. Precisely because these strength path phantoms originate from the same source, the souls can merge. They are able to get stronger by devouring each other. The final myriad self-killer move that I activated is no longer just the convergence of enslavement and strength, it has progressed to become a human path killer move. Fang Yuan's time path clone was bathed in the light of wisdom all along. Its eyes flickered with uncertainty and bright light. At this point, the killer move myriad self had become a true human path killer move, while myriad self-immortal GU was confirmed to be a human path immortal GU. In the previous life, Fang Yuan had felt regret that he lacked a human path method or foundation when attacking Central Continent. The truth was, he had won all along, but because he had too many issues going on and things to consider, he did not notice it during the battle. This was like the poem, "The mountain resembles a range when you look from the front, it resembles a peak when you look at it sideways. The mountain shows different features at different angles near and far. You cannot see the real Lucian mountain, because you are on the mountain yourself." His exploration in human path had started in the 500 years of his previous life, but he had no awareness in this aspect. A person's life is their exploration towards human path itself. Other than myriad self-immortal GU, I also have another human path immortal GU. That is, perseverance GU. Wait, not just perseverance GU, the sovereign immortal fetus GU that I stole is also a human path GU worm. Looking at U003CU003C, the legends of Ren Zhu 003EU003E, Hope GU, Vanity GU, Guts GU, Stubborn GU, Pride GU, Self GU, Suffering GU weren't all these human path GU worms. No wonder U003CU003C, the legends of Ren Zhu 003EU003E is known as the human path true inheritance. It truly contains the deep profundities of human path within it. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart. At this point, he could finally read U003CU003C, the legends of Ren Zhu 003EU003E with a proper level of understanding. Fang Yuan had reached this conclusion after living for nearly 600 years. His human path inspiration was not obtained from nurturing the variant humans, it was the crucial qualitative breakthrough that he gained after accumulating sufficient life experiences. It was like a small pile of gunpowder that was lit by a spark, an intense explosion with a loud sound was set off. Fang Yuan surpassed his original limits and reached a new level in human path. This was his growth after deep accumulation. Progress was very smooth. Central Continent, Heavenly Court. In Central Great Hall. The dense purple aura calmed down slowly, before it completely retracted back into Fairy Ziwei's mind. Fairy Ziwei frowned lightly. What is this demon Fang Yuan plotting now? In the Battle of Langya Blessed Land, Heavenly Court lost terribly. Fairy Ziwei took the responsibility personally. She rapidly divulged the information regarding Fang Yuan for free. But currently, Fang Yuan was very strange. He had not taken any action. Normally speaking, with Star Caste exposed and the deaths of Chen Yi and Thunder Ghost True Monarch, Fang Yuan would definitely spread news of it everywhere to attack Heavenly Court's prestige, to make the other four regions more antagonistic towards Heavenly Court. But Fang Yuan did not do that. Fairy Ziwei had a sense of unease all along. These last days, she had been paying close attention to Fang Yuan's movements. Even if a slight incident occurred, she would deduce it with her full strength. Fairy Ziwei already knew about Fang Yuan's actions in southern border. But why did Fang Yuan target Kai Clan? What motive did he have? Was he really just going after those 3 resource points of Kai Clan? Earlier, the formation in Plunder Shadow Earth Trench got destroyed. Was that mysterious GU immortal Fang Yuan? Or maybe, he wants to refine GU now after annexing Langya Blessed Land and gaining a huge foundation. Or maybe, he has already used Spring Autumn Cicada to rebirth. He is using his rebirth knowledge to obtain all of his potential advantages now. Fairy Ziwei's eyes flickered with uncertainty. After Fang Yuan's Spring Autumn Cicada got exposed, his enemies would all consider it when they thought about his actions. Fairy Ziwei had been paying attention to this all along. Once Fang Yuan rebirths, Spring Autumn Cicada would need a lot of time to recover. That would be the best time to kill him. At the same time, all the methods that I used already will be known to Fang Yuan. I will need to change my battle tactics. It was crucial whether Fang Yuan had already used Spring Autumn Cicada to rebirth or not. If he did, Fairy Ziwei would need to stop all her original plans and start from scratch. However, even though Fairy Ziwei deduced with her full strength, even after using Star Constellation chessboard, she could not confirm if Fang Yuan had been reborn or not. Fang Yuan destroyed the formation in Plunder Shadow Earth Trench but did not take the Dream Realms. He was very secretive when dealing with Meng Tu and the rest. Even for Great Thief Ghost Hand, Fang Yuan did not use it openly. He used the super formation to conceal it. Heavenly Court could not link him to Suan Bu Jin. His smoke bomb was just too brilliant. He had successfully confused Fairy Ziwei. Fang Yuan's wisdom path attainment was a huge help in this aspect. This rebirth was very different from the previous ones. Against the strong enemy Heavenly Court, he had to consider the ink effect at all times. Fang Yuan is crafty and shrewd. He has left too little valuable information for us. Fairy Ziwei thought about it angrily. She turned around and left the central Great Hall, arriving at the place she held Spectral Soul captive. Soul Search. Spectral Soul resisted for a while before relenting as waves of memories were extracted. The secret of Golden Dragonfish rearing. Fairy Ziwei was first joyful before becoming disappointed. If it were before, Fairy Ziwei would be very happy about targeting Fang Yuan's main source of income, but now that he obtained Langya Blessed Land, all of its businesses were taken over by him. This method that Fairy Ziwei obtained was not very useful. Even so, I cannot give up on this chance to suppress Fang Yuan. Fairy Ziwei thought about it as she gritted her teeth and made her decision. But unknown to her, while she was thinking, in the depths of her eyes, a dark eerie light flashed for an instant. Chapter 1775 Developing Green Ghost Air. On this night in southern border, the starry sky was dim, intense winds were blowing, a storm was about to start. Two GU Immortals flew rapidly while hiding their traces, the thick dark clouds providing them an additional layer of concealment. "It is here." While moving, one of the GU Immortals spoke. The other immediately stopped. Next, at the center of the dark clouds, an immortal battlefield opened slowly, absorbing the two GU Immortals before it closed rapidly. The two GU Immortals entered the immortal battlefield and removed their disguise, they returned to their normal appearance. The one with lower cultivation level had an ordinary appearance, but the other was a rank 8 GU Immortal with great authority and reputation. It was the famous Kai clan's first supreme elder, Kai Kuyu. If other Righteous Path GU Immortals saw this, they would stare in disbelief and shout in shock. The great Kai Kuyu was actually sneaking around in the darkness. Who was he meeting? Senior Kai Kuyu, we meet again. The GU Immortal defending the immortal battlefield had dream path aura and an ordinary appearance. He was the type that would be indistinguishable in a crowd. Kai Kuyu looked at him and said in displeasure, "Fang Yuan, I thought your main body would come. Hehe, aren't you being too careful?" Fang Yuan was the one waiting for Kai Kuyu, and this battlefield was Yama battlefield. But Fang Yuan did not come in his main body, this was a pure dream reality seeker physique body that he created. Fang Yuan's clone smiled. "I am cowardly and afraid of death, please do understand me, Senior Kai Kuyu." Cowardly and afraid of death. Kai Kuyu's eyebrows were raised, he thought of the 3 rib bones belonging to Thunder Ghost True Monarch that were sold in Treasure Yellow Heaven, and the time when Fang Yuan disguised as Wu Yihai, and also the recent losses that he incurred from Fang Yuan's plundering. He smiled and said mockingly, "Fang Yuan, you are too humble. I've brought the thing that you want, let's not waste time in case mishaps occur, let's do the transaction." This place was close to Yitian Mountain, the location was quite sensitive, Kai Kuyu did not dare to be careless. Of course. Fang Yuan's clone nodded. The two finished their transaction on the spot. Kai Kuyu obtained an information path mortal GU, while the GU Immortal beside him flew towards Fang Yuan's clone. The GU Immortal that came with Kai Kuyu was also Fang Yuan's Dream Path clone. After Fang Yuan and Kai Kuyu came to an agreement, they first targeted several southern border locations and obtained the scattered dream realms, before using pure dream reality seeker transformation to turn them into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. Next, using these pure dream reality seeker physique clones, he communicated with Kai Kuyu and met with him. Kai Kuyu brought one of them with him as he entered the secret formation space on Yitian Mountain through the back door. There, Fang Yuan's pure dream reality seeker physique clone used a method to convert the rest of the dream realms into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies and stuff them into its immortal aperture. The original pure dream reality seeker physique came from a shadow sect member, Wisdom Path Great Expert Old Man Yan Shi. The killer move pure dream reality seeker transformation was the greatest achievement of his lifetime's research. The original pure dream reality seeker transformation that he had could create the most extreme form of pure dream reality seeker physique. It had 18 hours to live, and every 2 hours, the cultivation level would rise by 1 rank. At the final moment, it would have rank 9 cultivation level. But after the battle on Yitian Mountain, Shadow Sect's sovereign immortal fetus GU, which was made from countless years of effort, was obtained by Fang Yuan, while Spectral Soul got trapped in the dream realm. During the second Yitian Mountain battle, Purple Mountain True Monarch brought the remaining Shadow Sect forces to attack, attempting to save Spectral Soul's main body. During the battle, Purple Mountain True Monarch also used Pure Dream Reality Seeker transformation, but it was the incomplete version. The Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies were also flawed, they were not as strong as the original. The version that Fang Yuan obtained was also this incomplete one, but afterwards, he got the original version from Spectral Soul's true inheritance. In Fang Yuan's previous life, this Pure Dream Reality Seeker transformation killer move was obtained by Heavenly Court. Fairy Ziwei had obtained it after soul-searching Spectral Soul for a long time. Not long after, Feng Jin Huang displayed the talent of a future Venerable. She actually perfected the original version of Pure Dream Reality Seeker transformation, which had a huge flaw. Thereafter, Heavenly Court obtained the perfect Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique, the 11th extreme physique. During the final battle in Central Continent, when Fang Yuan attacked the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation, he captured the perfected Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies from Feng Jin Huang and comprehended their creation. He also obtained the method to create perfect Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies. Right now, when Fang Yuan did transactions with Kai Kuyu, he did not use the perfect pure dream reality seeker physique, he was using the incomplete killer move that Purple Mountain True Monarch gave him. Because this incomplete version had a time limit in lifespan, it would self-detonate when the time was up. Fang Yuan made good use of this flaw. Even if Kai Kuyu tried to harm him, he would not get the pure dream reality seeker physique body. Before the transaction, Fang Yuan informed Kai Kuyu of this flaw. After learning that the pure dream reality seeker physique bodies would self-detonate, Kai Kuyu's expression turned ugly, but for the sake of the dream path research results, he had to accept it. Seeing that the pure dream reality seeker physique body returned to Fang Yuan, he also let out a sigh of relief. If this thing self-detonated around him, even Kai Kuyu's formation path methods would be ineffective against it. This transaction carried huge risks for both parties, but the rewards were too alluring, both sides were taking a gamble. After this first transaction, both parties were quite satisfied, they were more confident now in continuing. Before leaving, they agreed on the second transaction location and time. They also arranged many secret and safe methods to communicate. Fang Yuan's transaction with Kai Clan had changed drastically from the previous life. Last time, Fang Yuan used the dream realms to exchange for Kai Clan's immortal essence stones and immortal materials. That was because he lacked immortal essence at the time. But now, Fang Yuan annexed Langya Blessed Land and advanced to rank 8. With his rank 8 immortal essence, he did not lack immortal essence at all. He lacked dream realms instead. In the previous life, he basically explored all of the dream realms that were scattered outside. Only a small portion was worth exploring because he had sold them to Kai Kuyu. Fang Yuan needed a large number of dream realms, those that were on Yitian Mountain. Because he knew that Spectral Soul was a great grandmaster in all paths, his dream realm was on Yitian Mountain, there could likely be human path, information path, and chi path dream realms. If he could completely inherit Spectral Soul's attainment levels, Fang Yuan would be qualified to annex every single rank 8 Grotto Heaven. Spectral Soul's human path attainment level was naturally Great Grandmaster. Without such a foundation, how could he possibly create Sovereign Immortal Fetus GU? My current human path attainment level is at Master. This is my accumulation after 600 years. Fang Yuan knew that with his human path achievement, he could not deal with Heavenly Court's human path methods left by different venerables. He was still too young, his accumulation was not deep enough. Red Lotus Demon Venerable lived for 3,000 years, this was the shortest among the venerables, but the truth was, due to his rebirths, his lifespan was far beyond 3,000. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable lived for 25,000 years, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable lived for 19,000 years while Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable lived for 12,000 years, these three were the top 3 venerables in terms of lifespan. To deal with their methods, Fang Yuan had to use dream realms to grow rapidly. Other than human path, information path, chi path, and even ice and snow path were areas that Fang Yuan desired. Fang Yuan's main body was near this transaction location. After Kai Kuyu left, he summoned his clones after a while. Soon, he placed the 2 pure dream clones in his sovereign immortal aperture. The dream realms that Fang Yuan obtained this time were not human path, they were mostly chi path. Chi path dream realms were very useful. If Fang Yuan had Great Grandmaster attainment level in chi path, he would be able to annex Chi Si Grotto Heaven, his cultivation level would rise drastically. Fang Yuan stored the dream realms, he activated Familiar Face, before using Fixed Immortal Travel's killer move to leave southern border. At the next moment, he arrived in Western Desert, he disguised as the Wisdom Path GU Immortal Suan Bu Jin again. After flying for a while in Green Ghost Desert, Fang Yuan saw Fang Clan's rank 7 GU Immortal Fang Hua Shang. He was the 3rd Supreme Elder of Fang Clan, specialized in healing methods, he wore a white robe and had white hair. As he looked at the approaching Fang Yuan, his stern expression turned into a warm smile. Friend Suan Bu Jin, how have you been? Fang Hua Shang greeted. Fang Yuan nodded. Thanks for the concern. My goal in coming here is to cooperate with Fang Clan and develop Green Ghost Desert together. Fang Yuan moved quickly and spoke openly, stating his intention without wasting time. This was different from the previous life. Last time, Suan Bu Jin's identity was exposed, his connection to Fang Clan was cut. As a result, Fang Yuan had to extort Fang Clan using his own identity. Even though Fang Clan relented and gave him some resources, it was not part of Fang Yuan's original plans. In addition, Fang Clan had also promised Fang Yuan an immortal GU as a reward, but after he got exposed, they did not act on it afterwards. Afterwards, when Fang Yuan repaired Danghun Mountain, he lacked soul beasts and could not produce enough guts GU, his own soul path cultivation became very slow. He had felt regret towards this loss many times. It hindered his growth tremendously, his cultivation path was disrupted. But now, Fang Yuan paid attention to this issue and changed it. Even though Suan Bu Jin had used Great Thief Ghost Hand in front of Chen Yi, and also against Feng Juzhe in the formation space, the two situations were very different. Without any evidence, nobody could link Fang Yuan to Suan Bu Jin. Even though they were both theft path methods, there were still theft path GU immortals in the 5 regions. Currently, most people thought that in the Langya Blessed Land battle, Fang Yuan's theft path method was the foundation of Langya Blessed Land. After all, long-hair ancestor had once worked with thieving heaven demon Venerable. Fang Huasheng had a grim expression as he sighed. Ever since the Battle of Divine Bean Palace, Suan Bu Jin, you have been vividly etched in our memories. We are more than happy to cooperate with you, but now. Fang Huasheng said that as he paused, raising his head to observe Fang Yuan's expression. But he was going to be disappointed. Fang Yuan's plain face had no change of expression at all. Fang Huasheng had no choice but to continue. Right now, our Fang clan is in an awkward position. We are facing pressure from Western Desert's righteous path which is giving us problems. Especially recently, friend Suan Bu Jin, there have been rumors that you are actually the demon Fang Yuan, because you both possess a method to steal immortal GU and also oppose Heavenly Court. That demon Fang Yuan has familiar face after all. He can conceal himself and has a vicious heart, we truly cannot defend against him. Even Heavenly Court is without means against him. Chapter 1776 Fang Clan, S. External Supreme Elder. Fang Huasheng's problems and complaints were actually deliberately mentioned as obstacles to Fang Yuan. But Fang Yuan's expression did not change, his mind was calm and tranquil. Because he had heard of such rumors long ago. Since he was going against Heavenly Court, he had to have great foresight. Currently, he was trying to stand above the 5 regions, using the entire GU world as the chessboard to compete against Heavenly Court. Rumors that said, Suan Bu Jin and Fang Yuan were the same person, did not originate from Heavenly Court. Fairy Ziwei had no evidence, random guesses would only ruin Heavenly Court's reputation. At most, they could only suspect it and try to help spread this rumor. The ones who came up with it were Western Desert's other righteous path forces. Fang Clan had obtained complete victory in the battle over Divine Bean Palace. They defeated Chen Yi and Qing Chou, obtaining Divine Bean Palace and even recruiting 2 rank 7 demonic path experts, Old Ghost by Jun and Eagle Concubine. Fang Clan's gains were huge. After they assimilate this newfound strength, their battle strength would rise greatly, they would jump up and become the number 1 Western Desert righteous path force. This would break the current balance, there would be a huge commotion that would affect the righteous path force's benefits. Thus, they worked together and tried to suppress Fang Clan. In order to make up excuses so they could act freely, they started looking for reasons. All sorts of random stories and old feuds were dug up. Even historical conflicts were taken out and used as excuses. If they could not find any reasons, what would they do? They would create reasons. Using all sorts of rumors and underground information, they could create commotion that sounded reasonable, but would be easily dispelled if effort was placed into answering them. The rumor that Suan Bu Jin was Fang Yuan was one of them. There was no strong evidence, but did rumors need evidence to begin with? These were just rules of the game that the righteous path played. They were working together to target Fang Clan and needed this layer of reasoning. Who cared if there was evidence, these reasons were sufficient. Fang Yuan even suspected that this rumor regarding himself was the inspiration of a random GU immortal one day. This GU immortal who created the rumor would likely never think that they had actually hit the nail on the head. But Fang Yuan was quite sure that Fang Clan would not believe this rumor. Even though Suan Bu Jin appeared abruptly, he had a reasonable background that they could research on. Fang Yuan made ample preparations for this purpose. He had linked Suan Bu Jin's background to a Western Desert lone immortal, Zheng Jingshen. Fang Clan trusted the background that Fang Yuan had provided to a large extent. Because Zheng Jingshen had lived tens of thousands of years ago, his relationship with Fang Clan was a secret, the other forces did not know it. Fang Clan would not admit that Suan Bu Jin was Fang Yuan in any case. Unless strong evidence forced them to be speechless. It was like this in the previous life. Because Fang Yuan's identity was exposed, Fang Clan was quite troubled. Western Desert's righteous path forces found the perfect excuse and became overjoyed. Fang Yuan knew that Fang Huasheng's words were simply to gain the maximum benefits for Fang Clan. Fang Yuan sneered internally. He looked at Fang Huasheng with a plain gaze. In that case, forget it. I will look for the other clans to work together. Saying this, he turned around and left quickly. Fang Huasheng saw Fang Yuan's gaze and felt his heart jump. Seeing that Fang Yuan was about to leave, he gasped and quickly chased. Suan Bu Jin, wait, hold up. What is it? Is anything the matter? Fang Yuan slowed down as he floated in the air. He looked at Fang Huasheng with a mocking gaze, saying plainly, isn't Fang Clan in huge trouble now and does not want to cooperate? Fang Huasheng had a bitter smile. He understood that Fang Yuan knew the fact that Fang Clan was trying to extort him through this reason. But Fang Huasheng was helpless, because he was currently exposed. Regarding this, Fang Huasheng was mentally prepared. Because before coming, Fang Clan's Wisdom Path Great Grandmaster Fang Dichong had already informed him. Suan Bu Jin was a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal. Fang Huasheng cupped his fist towards Fang Yuan. Friend Suan Bu Jin, please don't worry, even though Fang Clan is in dire straits now, our determination to cooperate with you has never wavered. Our relationship extends all the way to tens of thousands of years ago. This is really a special connection between us, we need to treasure it. Last time, during the battle over Divine Bean Palace, we worked together harmoniously. If not for your help, we would have had much more difficulties in obtaining Divine Bean Palace. We still owe you the reward for that battle, even though you allowed us to delay the payment, we have never forgotten about it. Before coming, First Supreme Elder even told me to apologize to you properly regarding that matter. Fang Huasheng said a long string of beautiful words without any effort. Fang Yuan felt disdain on the inside but he showed a faint smile, cooperating with Fang Huasheng while allowing this matter to end on a nice note. Fang Yuan said, I know about Fang Clan's circumstances, you know I am a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal too, I vitally want to develop Green Ghost Desert as well. I have already written the details of this cooperation, take a look. Fang Huasheng received the information Path Mortal Gu, he looked into it, his face turning pale gradually. The details that Fang Yuan wrote were advantageous to him, the conditions were neither too harsh nor too easy on Fang Clan, it was right on Fang Clan's bottom line. Friend, you are truly a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal. Fang Huasheng felt a chill in his heart as he spoke with admiration. Even though Fang Clan obtained Divine Bean Palace, the refinement of this Gu house was very difficult, they were making little progress. After the Battle of Divine Bean Palace, Fang Clan's 3 immortal Gu houses were heavily damaged, Fang Clan's strength fell drastically, they were at their weakest point. But at this moment, Western Desert's Righteous Path forces acted together to suppress Fang Clan. They were in a worrying state now, they needed external help. Suan Bu Jin was an ideal reinforcement. Because from Fang Clan's perspective, Suan Bu Jin was a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal with methods to enslave a Soul Beast army. During the battle in Divine Bean Palace, he even showed the ability to steal rank 8 Immortal Gu Soul Beast token, it was simply shocking. Fang Clan was very wary regarding Suan Bu Jin, but thankfully they had a historical relationship and had worked together before. At this point, if Fang Clan could gain a rank 7 expert like him, their morale would rise, it would help this situation greatly. And if they refused to cooperate with Suan Bu Jin, he might even be forced to join his enemies instead. If Suan Bu Jin worked with the other Righteous Path forces, Fang Clan's circumstances would be even worse. Fang Clan was wary of Suan Bu Jin, but they also needed him. Suan Bu Jin was only a rank 7 Gu Immortal, but Fang Clan was not able to reject his offer to work together even if they wanted to. Fang Yuan knew about this point, that was why he acted fearlessly against Fang Huasheng. In the negotiation with Kai Kuyu earlier, I could have failed. But in this current negotiation, I have no way of losing. Fang Yuan felt very confident in this. Of course, if Suan Bu Jin's identity is really exposed, Fang Clan would never cooperate with me no matter what. That was why I gave up in the previous life and directly extorted them. This was the rule of the Righteous Path. As for why Kai Kuyu took the risk to make transactions with Fang Yuan, the profits were too immense. Additionally, Kai Kuyu was confident that even if the matter got exposed, he could still deny it. Kai Clan also had a formation defending them, they were extremely safe, in the worst case, he just had to give up some resource points. Kai Clan's circumstances and status were different from Fang Clan. Because of the two clans' differences, they could make different decisions. Fang Huasheng looked at the contents clearly before returning the information Path Mortal Gu to Fang Yuan. But at the same time, he handed another information Path Mortal Gu to Fang Yuan. Second Supreme Elder has personally entrusted this to me. According to your proposal, we can definitely cooperate. But this information Path Mortal Gu contains another proposal filled with Fang Clan's sincerity, please take a look and consider it. Fang Yuan laughed to himself on the inside, he knew what the contents were before he even looked at it. After taking a look, Fang Yuan's lips curled up indistinctly. As expected, Fang clan wrote one condition: they invited Fang Yuan to be their external supreme elder. Fang Yuan smiled secretly to himself, but he showed a hesitant expression. He said to Fang Huasheng solemnly, "This is a huge matter, I need a few days to consider it." Fang Huasheng was overjoyed. He was afraid that Fang Yuan would reject him on the spot. Now that he said he would consider it, it meant that he was inclined to accept the offer. It was not strange for him to be moved by it. Back then, when Fang Huasheng first saw the plan to recruit Fang Yuan, he was very shocked too, to think that the clan was willing to pay such a huge price. Fang Huasheng quickly said, "Please take your time to consider it. I'm sure you can see Fang clan's sincerity and foundation. Even though this is a difficult time, our future is bright. The truth is, our clan already has some progress in refining Divine Bean Palace." Fang Yuan gasped as he showed an obvious expression of being moved. But he was rolling his eyes internally. Fang clan's progress in refining Divine Bean Palace was definitely very slow. The reason? Because they did not use it to fight even during the final battle in Central Continent. Fang Huasheng was simply lying through his teeth. But that was not Fang Yuan's concern. He decided to agree to Fang clan's request and become their external supreme elder. Given enough time, with his own information path methods, no agreements could bind him. With this relationship, the development of Green Ghost Desert would become even smoother. Fang Yuan would also gain a lot of cultivation resources as his reward for joining Fang clan. These resources moved Fang Yuan as well. But he could not agree now. If he did, it would seem like he was too eager. That was not how Suan Bu Jin would act. Fang clan's wisdom path Great Grand Master Fang Dichong had incredible methods and capability. Fang Yuan had witnessed it personally. He could not underestimate him. At this point, Fang Yuan said goodbye to Fang Huasheng. "Goodbye, friend." Fang Huasheng stayed as he watched Fang Yuan leave. He had an expression of sincerity on his face. Fang Yuan felt a little amused. "I will agree to this in a few days. If one day, my identity gets exposed, I wonder how Fang clan would react." Chapter 1777 Ink Effect. Sovereign Grotto Heaven. In mini southern border, a damaged mountain stood proudly on the ground. Even though it was damaged, the surrounding mounds were still like tiny pebbles compared to it. Different from normal mountains, it looked like it was made of crystals. It was pink throughout while emitting the colors of dreams and illusions. It was the secluded domain of heaven and earth recorded in U003CU003C. The Legends of Ren Zhu 003EU003E, Danghun Mountain. Fang Yuan's divine sense went around it entirely. Danghun Mountain is about 80% repaired. This is way faster compared to the previous life. Compared to now, his previous life was truly pitiful. Firstly, he did not annex Langya Blessed Land. The battle expended a lot of his immortal essence storage. Afterwards, he attacked southern borders areas and stole dream realms, before transacting with Kai Kuyu to gain a large number of immortal essence stones, finally replenishing his immortal essence storage. In the previous life, Fang Yuan used landscape as before Immortal GU to repair Danghun Mountain. He expended a vast amount of immortal essence. Landscape as before was just rank 6 while Fang Yuan's immortal essence was rank 7. He also faced pressure from the outside, be they Heavenly Court or Southern Border. They wanted to create problems for him. For a long time, Fang Yuan's immortal essence storage was kept at a dangerous level. He could not accumulate any as his expenditure was huge. But now, after annexing Langya Blessed Land, everything was different. He became a rank 8 GU immortal. He was able to produce rank 8 White Lychee immortal essence in his sovereign immortal aperture in advance. It was the same as 100 red date immortal essence beads. That was to say, Fang Yuan's immortal essence was produced at 100 times the efficiency as the previous life. At the same time, Fang Yuan had rank 7 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus, while Langya Blessed Land itself had a huge stock of immortal essence stones. This huge foundation was sustaining Fang Yuan. He faced no problems in terms of immortal essence. By spending a huge amount of immortal essence without concern, Danghun Mountain was being repaired at an extremely fast rate, far superior than his previous life. In the previous life, at this time, Danghun Mountain was only 30% repaired. But now, it was already 80% repaired. Given just a bit more time, it would be fully repaired. If landscape as before had a higher rank, the recovery speed would be even faster. Currently, landscape as before was merely rank 6, using it to repair Danghun Mountain was like chopping a tree using a knife. Even though Fang Yuan had rank 8 Immortal GU Advance Refinement and the Long Hair Refinement Path Formation, he was unwilling to take the risk to refine landscape as before due to his vigilant nature. Unless he obtains Regret GU and creates Regret Pool. The success rate of GU refinement was too low. If he failed and the Immortal GU got destroyed, it would be a disaster. Fang Yuan had thought of the Vital GU. When a Vital GU is refined, no matter how many times it fails, it would not die. But Fang Yuan's clone had Spring-Autumn Cicada as its Vital GU, while the Sovereign Immortal body was created using Sovereign Immortal Fetus GU, it had no such thing as a Vital GU. If I can obtain a GU Immortal's body and use Split Soul to turn it into my clone, I can change the Vital GU and refine landscape as before Immortal GU using it, that would be safer. But this plan could not be done now. It was not that he could not capture GU Immortals, he had a batch of them now. But the problem was, the amount of expended Soul Foundation was huge. With his current foundation, he could not use Split Soul. Whenever a Wisdom Path GU Immortals makes deductions on Fang Yuan, Emperor Yama would activate and expend his Soul Foundation. Every Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique body that Fang Yuan creates would expend his Soul Foundation. The same went for Myriad Self. And exploring dream realms also damaged the soul. With all these reasons, Fang Yuan's soul was constantly being drained. Especially recently, Fairy Ziwei had been deducing matters on Fang Yuan every now and then, causing Emperor Yama to be activated continuously. Fang Yuan was consistently pestered, his guts GU storage was reaching its end. Ever since rebirth, even though the ink effect gave Fang Yuan lots of benefits, there were also problems that happened. In the previous life, his soul foundation was able to last for a long time. But now, it was terrible. At this rate, he would finish his stock of guts GU. Fang Yuan would need to use other soul path methods instead. These soul path methods all had their downsides, none were as useful as guts GU. There is another issue. Heavenly Court has started to take over the dragonfish business. Heavenly Court is actually selling a large number of iron dragonfish and silver dragonfish. They seem to be able to produce golden dragonfish too. It is causing a great impact to my dragonfish business. Even though this happened in the previous life as well, it occurred much later. To think that it would happen in advance now. But Fang Yuan was helpless about this. Spectral Soul was taken captive. Fairy Ziwei was likely provoked by the loss in Langya Blessed Land. She intensified the soul search on Spectral Soul and obtained the information regarding the dragonfish business. It seems that Spectral Soul is starting to lose his hold. Even in the previous life when Longevity Heaven attacked Heavenly Court, he did not show up, he was imprisoned all along. Fang Yuan sighed, retracting his complex emotions. He had no time to waste. He had to use every minute and every second. Who knew if this extra second would be significant during the huge battle in the future? Any bit of accumulation mattered greatly. Fang Yuan's post-rebirth plans were progressing smoothly and gradually. Langya Blessed Land was annexed. He became a rank 8 GU Immortal, after which he took in the Four Races Alliance and gained a huge foundation. His human path attainment broke through to master level. Kai Kuyu made a transaction with him. The contents were even more advantageous to him than in the previous life. There was also Fang Clan trying to recruit him. The plan to develop Green Ghost Desert was going to be very helpful. All of these changes and accumulations were totally beyond his previous life. Fang Yuan did not relax at all. He knew that the southern borders leaders were going to meet and create a group to chase after him next. On one hand, Fang Yuan's attack was a type of provocation towards the southern border righteous path. They had to make an active response. On the other hand, Wu Clan, Tai Clan, Ba Clan, and the others also wanted to gain some benefits from this and raise their reputation. They wanted to gain a larger say in this group. There should be some time left. Because Southern Border's Righteous Path clans will not have an easy time coming up with a plan or conclusion. They need to compete against each other. With the emergence of earth trenches, the clans need to fight for natural resources. They have a lot of conflict among themselves. Currently, Tai Clan's Beacon Tower plan had not started yet. Even though Tai Clan promoted it, the clans were not willing to let it start. In fact, the Southern Border Alliance was nowhere to be seen. Wu Yong had such ambitions, but if he mentioned it now, it would be a joke. Fang Yuan had a lot of things to do. Firstly, he needed to modify his Jade Flow Pearl Killer move. This killer move used rank 7 fixed immortal travel as the core and almost all of Fang Yuan's current space path immortal GU, a few refinement path immortal GU, and a lot of supplementary mortal GU to construct. He had used this killer move many times, it was already exposed. Even though Kai Kuyu was transacting with him secretly, he would definitely search for relevant information and look for other wisdom path immortals to find a way to counter it. To prevent himself from being countered, Fang Yuan needed to modify it and create a new version just in case. Because now, Bai Ningbing, Ying Wuxie, and the rest were still cultivating on the Stone Lotus Island. Omnidirectional travel could not be used now. Even though Shui Er, Mo Tan Sang, and Shi Shi Cheng were prospective replacements, Fang Yuan did not practice with them a lot, they were far from actually mastering it. In terms of movement, Fang Yuan was heavily relying on omnidirectional travel and fixed Immortal travel's killer move. If these two methods were unusable and Fang Yuan got encircled, he would be in trouble. One could never be too careful. The killer move involving fixed Immortal travel was Fang Yuan's method of escaping if an unexpected mishap occurred. Next, he had to repair Spring-Autumn Cicada. Currently, he was already using Immortal killer moves to help the weakened rank 6 Spring-Autumn Cicada recover more quickly. He also had to develop his businesses aggressively. The dragonfish business was heavily affected, Heavenly Court had a deep foundation, Fang Yuan could not compete against it. Many of Langya Blessed Land's businesses were needed by Fang Yuan himself, the rest needed to be adapted to suit Fang Yuan's current needs. Additionally, Fang Yuan also disguised his identity in Treasure Yellow Heaven and purchased immemorial year beasts. As for the conceptualization of the incomplete Immortal GU house, as well as the deduction of the killer move GU as before, they were underway. Fang Yuan wanted to create his personal Immortal GU house. In the previous life, his Immortal GU house was constantly destroyed or damaged. These terrible experiences were precious to the current him, he had benefited greatly. His gains ever since he was reborn were quickly absorbed, Fang Yuan made use of every minute and second to grow stronger rapidly. Several days later, Western Desert, Fang Clan's headquarters. It is truly our clan's blessing that friend Suan Bu Jin could join us. From today onwards, you will be renowned throughout Western Desert, or even the other 4 regions. Fang Clan's first Supreme Elder Fang Gong held Fang Yuan's hands warmly. Fang Yuan smiled as he pulled back his hand inconspicuously. This old man looked very valiant and upfront on the outside but was actually devious and sinister. Fang Yuan had witnessed him sneak attacking Chen Yi and beating him up in Divine Bean Palace. The moment I joined Fang Clan, Fang Gong came to welcome me personally, while Fang Dichong and the rest can't wait to spread news of this. It seems that Fang Clan is truly in a bad state now. Fang Yuan thought about it, he looked towards Fang Dichong as he smiled. Fang Dichong had a strange feeling of nervousness, he thought to himself, what is going on? Why do I have a bad feeling all of a sudden? At the next moment, Fang Dichang's and Fang Gong's expressions changed. Fang Gong shouted loudly, such guts. Demonic Path GU Immortals dare to attack our clan's precious Heavenly Dew Oasis, do they think that our Fang clan is easy to bully? Fang Dichong had a grim expression as he said, it is a complex matter, it might not be Demonic Path GU Immortals but other forces instead. Especially now when Elder Suan Bu Jin has just joined us, we have just released this information in Treasure Yellow Heaven but this actually happened. Fang Yuan snorted coldly from agitation, he had a grim expression, let me handle this. Fang Dichong and Fang Gong looked at each other rapidly, Fang Gong clapped, wonderful, Elder, we will wait for good news from you. Chapter 1778 Fang and Fang scheming each other. The desert extended to the horizon, intense winds whipped up a yellow sandstorm, shrouding the world. Fang Yuan's body moved like light smoke, traveling rapidly within the sandstorm. An oasis with a huge area appeared in his vision. This was Heavenly Dew Oasis. The oasis had a large lake that had a lot of water in it, it was almost like a small sea. Acupuncture trees were planted all around this lake. This tree was dark green in color, it resembled a human shape with arms and legs. Its legs were stabbed into the depths of the desert, absorbing water and maintaining its vitality. Its arms were either spread out or pointed towards the sky. Some were standing, their arms bent and their pinky fingers pointed towards their heads, as if they were picking their noses. Some were completely lying on the ground like a lazy person, the hands were placed behind their heads as they looked up at the sky. A large number of acupuncture trees, several hundreds of them, surrounded Heavenly Dew Oasis tightly, forming the first line of defense. Ordinary acupuncture trees were the most numerous, they were 10 to 20 feet tall, they looked like still giants. There were also several hundred desolate plant acupuncture trees, they were even larger, at 50 to 60 feet tall, they were very grand. There were also 10 or so ancient desolate plant acupuncture trees. They were large like mountains, even if they were lying down, they were extremely conspicuous among the other trees. At ancient desolate level, the acupuncture trees would blossom every year, the petals were snow white. The core had rainbow colors that were mostly pink, yellow, and light blue. Each petal was a seed of the acupuncture tree, it could scatter with the wind. The acupuncture tree was very valuable, it had great use. Each leaf, each branch, and each root was a GU material, it had rich fire path and wood path Dao marks. When a strong enemy attacks, these acupuncture trees would stand up like giants, waving their limbs around and moving in the desert, they would fight the enemies using their strength and sharp needles. During normal times, they would be peaceful. When they met someone they favored, they would move their needles to pierce into them and inject some liquid. This liquid was like spring water, but it had great value, it could increase the vitality and foundation of the living being, it could alleviate fatigue and illnesses, even treating diseases. By using the acupuncture needles regularly, one could stay healthy and strong, they can even live longer. Ignoring the more valuable lake, just these acupuncture trees surrounding it were very valuable, they made this heavenly dew oasis a giant resource point. This oasis was famous in Western Desert, it was one of the top 10 oases, Fang clan had placed much importance into this asset. Even though Fang Yuan's Dragonfish Sea was a giant resource point too, it was dwarfed in comparison with this oasis. Recently, Fang clan has faced the suppression of the other Western Desert forces. Among all of their resource points, the small ones are being affected and even taken away. This time, Heavenly Dew Oasis was attacked, Fang clan's limit for tolerance was touched, so Fang Gong showed deep anger in response. After a while, Fang Yuan arrived above Heavenly Dew Oasis. The formation of Heavenly Dew Oasis was already activated, it was resisting a mysterious GU Immortal. This GU Immortal cultivated soul path, he wore a black robe and above him, there was a dark cloud, he was surrounded by grey-white vengeful spirits that moved around in the sky. He moved in a peculiar manner, his killer move was outstanding, each attack would emit a shrill noise that made people feel goosebumps all over. The Fang clan GU Immortal defending Heavenly Dew Oasis had already activated the formation. But Fang clan's formations were inferior to Kai clan, their strong point was in Immortal GU houses. Furthermore, this Western Desert Soul Path GU Immortal attacked peculiarly and ruthlessly, half the formation was already destroyed, he was rampaging in Heavenly Dew Oasis. Fang Yuan did not conceal his aura, he arrived in the battlefield and attacked the Soul Path GU Immortal. Boom boom boom, the two fought as they created thunderous noises, air currents surged and created huge waves in the oasis lake. Fang clan's GU Immortal contacted Fang Yuan and asked him to help, but Fang Yuan only told him to defend the oasis. The Fang clan GU Immortal was worried because the Soul Path GU Immortal was very strong, he felt very uneasy in this situation. But Fang Yuan showed an even stronger stance. He had many Immortal GU, while acting as Suan Bu Jin, even with just Wisdom Path methods, he had a variety of different methods that could not be dealt with easily. The Soul Path GU Immortal had peculiar methods, but Fang Yuan's Wisdom Path killer moves were more exquisite, filled with wisdom and elegance. As the two fought, Fang Yuan gained the upper hand, he slowly obtained control over the tempo of the battle. The Western Desert Soul Path GU Immortal became more fierce in his attacks as he shouted, "Who are you? How did Fang clan find someone like you?" Fang Yuan laughed loudly, "I am Wisdom Path Suan Bu Jin, an external supreme elder of Fang Yuan. I have just joined Fang clan, but you jumped out to provoke me, you are simply looking down on me, I will take your life." Fang Yuan's display of killing intent surged as he forced the Soul Path GU Immortal back into a dangerous spot. The Fang clan GU Immortal inside the formation felt a chill in his heart, this newly joined supreme elder of the clan was definitely not a kind or easygoing person. Fang Yuan's eyes shined with brilliance, his face was full of sternness and arrogance. He waved his sleeves as he attacked like raging tides, his attacks were very powerful, the spectator was deeply shocked. After a while, the Soul Path GU Immortal shouted loudly, he seemed to have used a killer move with deep backlash, his face turned pale as his aura became dim, he was very weakened now. But his speed increased rapidly, he flew out of the battlefield like a sharp arrow. "Where are you going?" Fang Yuan shouted loudly, chasing relentlessly. Under the Fang clan's GU Immortal's expectant gaze, Fang Yuan chased after the Soul Path GU Immortal. Fang clan headquarters. In the room, Fang Gong and Fang Dichong were discussing their plan in secret. All of a sudden, they stopped their discussions at the same time. "Oh, Suan Bu Jin made the strong enemy retreat, he is really fast." Fang Dichong smiled. But, Fang Gong had a low tone. According to the information, Suan Bu Jin chased after him but returned midway. According to Suan Bu Jin, he returned in order to prevent the enemy from setting a trap and ambushing him elsewhere. What do you think about that? Fang Dichong smiled. Suan Bu Jin is a Wisdom Path GU Immortal like me. He might have found some clues and sensed a scheme. Or maybe, he did not want to spend so much effort on this. Forcing the enemy away was already enough to show some credit for his work. He is not a Fang clansman after all. He joined us because the rewards were plentiful, and also because he wants to develop Green Ghost Desert with us. Fang Dichang's analysis of Fang Yuan was very in-depth. Fang Gong nodded. Suan Bu Jin has good strength, his methods are numerous. Should we rope him into this plan too? Fang Dichang shook his head. I would not advise you to do that. He has just joined us, we do not know about his background yet. Even though we have the agreement, we cannot entrust everything to it. He is an uncertainty. Fang Gong pondered. Then forget it, I just felt that it was a pity, he has great battle strength after all. Fang Dichang smiled. Actually, even without him, our arrangements are sufficient already. Even if he does not join our secret plan, he can also provide some help. We should let him defend Heavenly Dew Oasis instead. We can bring the rank 7 member back to participate in this. In that case, we can show that our Fang clan is willing to give outsiders a chance. We can use Suan Bu Jin as a good example. With the results of this battle and our spreading of the news, he will gain huge fame. He will become an eyesore of the Western Desert Righteous Path forces. He will draw a lot of the attention away from us. Ha ha ha. Fang Gong laughed, looking at Fang Dichang with deep admiration. It is truly great that our Fang clan has a Wisdom Path Great Grand Master like you. The next day, letting me defend this place. Fang Yuan looked at Heavenly Dew Oasis as his thoughts moved rapidly like lightning. He was already using his Wisdom Path killer moves. I have just joined Fang clan, but they actually let me defend this place alone. They deployed the original rank 7 GU Immortal elsewhere. And with the battle earlier, Fang clan promoted it intensely. The Western Desert Righteous Path is already onto me. Normally speaking, Fang clan should deploy 1 GU Immortal here to keep an eye on me. But not only did they not do that, Fang clan's experts are also moving in a peculiar fashion. It seems that they are going to attempt something big. In the previous life, what did Fang clan do? Fang Yuan frowned. In the previous life, because Suan Bu Jin got exposed, Fang Yuan did not pay much attention to Fang clan. Fang Yuan did not know how Fang clan countered the suppression of Western Desert's righteous path. What happened from now until the time Fang clan took the lead to attack Emperor City? It seems that Western Desert's righteous path had worked together to conceal the truth. Or perhaps, something has changed in this life already. The ink effect has already spread until here. Fang Yuan lacked information now. He could not think of any plan. For the following period, he could only wait and see what happens. On one hand, he can wait for the development here. On the other hand, he had to continue his plans. Ying Wuxie, where are you now? He contacted Ying Wuxie. Within Green Ghost Desert, a Soul Path GU Immortal looked at the dark sky as he moved with his head lowered, reporting to sect leader, I am already inside Green Ghost Desert. It was Ying Wuxie. Not long ago, Fang Yuan had secretly brought him out of the Stone Lotus Island and gave him Yongsan Mu's body, Immortal Aperture, his Soul Path GU Worms, and the modified Soul Path killer moves. Ying Wuxie had changed his appearance already. If Fang clan's GU Immortals saw him now, they would be enraged. Isn't this the mysterious GU Immortal who attacked our Heavenly Dew Oasis yesterday? Very good, I have already handed Soul Beast token to you. Go ahead and develop the army. Keep in contact with me at all times. I already have fixed Immortal Travel's killer move now. I can reinforce you at any time. Don't be careless and end up in an Immortal battlefield or a formation space. Fang Yuan added. I understand, sect leader. Ying Wuxie replied respectfully. With me here, there will be an unceasing supply of soul beasts. Chapter 1779 Killer Move Steel Dao. Suan Bu Jin was just a disguise. Fang Yuan knew that in order to join Fang clan, his biggest obstacle was Fang Dichang. Because he was a Wisdom Path Great Grand Master. Usually, only experts among rank 8s had Great Grand Master attainment level. They were hard to deal with. There would be too many traces left behind if Fang Yuan tried to use Wisdom Path methods to deal with Fang Dichang's deductions. After all, Fang Yuan was just a Wisdom Path Grand Master. He was skilled at deductions and killer move modification in terms of Wisdom Path. Using the light of wisdom, in terms of deducing killer moves, he was the #1 person in the world. But dealing with other GU Immortals and resisting other Wisdom Path GU Immortals' deductions was not Fang Yuan's expertise. After Fang Yuan joins Fang clan, it might stir some strange feelings in Fang Dichang. Wisdom Path GU Immortals were usually very calm. If their mental state was affected and their emotions changed, it would signify a huge problem. Thus, Fang Yuan arranged for Ying Wuxie to disguise as a Western Desert GU Immortal and attack Fang Clan's Heavenly Dew Oasis. As expected, Fang Dichong fell for it and did not suspect Fang Yuan. Making Ying Wuxie attack Heavenly Dew Oasis had another deeper meaning. It was to help Fang Yuan integrate into Fang Clan more quickly. Suan Bu Jin had worked with Fang Clan to fight over Divine Bean Palace, but he had just joined the clan. Western Desert's righteous path was not familiar with him, while Fang Clan held suspicion towards his loyalty. At this time, Fang Yuan arranged for such an event. He displayed his own battle strength and to a certain extent, his loyalty towards Fang Clan. However, Fang Dichang's wisdom path attainment level is higher than mine. The more we interact, the more likely he would be to find out the truth. Fang Yuan alerted himself. Dealing with a wisdom path great grandmaster was too troublesome. Even though Fang Yuan was using familiar face killer move, he was in danger of getting exposed. Other than that, there was another risk, Ying Wuxie. Ying Wuxie's disguise method was not special, after all Soul Path did not specialize in that. Furthermore, legendary immemorial soul beast Ching Cho was likely still lurking somewhere in Green Ghost Desert. These were all hidden dangers and risks. But compared to these risks, Fang Yuan's need for a vast number of soul beasts to raise his soul path cultivation level was greater. He was willing to take the risk. Even though I joined Fang Clan and they agreed to develop Green Ghost Desert, giving me a portion of the soul cores once in a while, they are very busy now, and because they have some stockpile of soul cores, they will likely hand me these accumulated soul cores during this period of time. Fang Yuan had already expected this. He needed to rely on himself for the development of Green Ghost Desert. Fang Yuan had not thought of relying on Fang Clan to capture soul beasts for him. In that situation, Fang Clan would not try their best after all. The truth was, Fang Yuan did not want Fang Clan to overly take control of Green Ghost Desert. The cooperation with them was to prevent Fang Clan from causing trouble. After all, there was only one clan, Fang Clan, around the vicinity of Green Ghost Desert. Fang Yuan could not station himself in Green Ghost Desert, he had to arrange pawns like Ying Wuxie. If Fang Clan found trouble with him, they could not deal with Fang Yuan easily, but Ying Wuxie was an easy target. Fang Yuan had considered many things. In this case, he had to cooperate with Fang Clan first. Even though Fang Clan did not have effective methods to use the soul beasts, they would capture many soul beasts each year and extract their soul cores. It could build up their inventory and also be sold for profit. If Fang Yuan tried to hunt in Green Ghost Desert alone using Suan Bu Jin's identity, Fang Clan would find him an eyesore. As the superforce that was the closest to Green Ghost Desert, Fang Clan had already treated Green Ghost Desert as their own territory. Fang Yuan could not eliminate them entirely, he had to choose to work with them. Turning an enemy into a friend was also a way of eliminating an enemy. From Fang Yuan's perspective, killing was just a method. Other than killing, there were many other methods he could use. To achieve his goals, he had to use the most appropriate and effective method, regardless of what it entailed. This was different from Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable handled matters in conflict with basically one method. That was to kill. You do not relent. Kill. You are an eyesore. Kill. His own mood was bad. Kill. He was bored. Kill. Fang Yuan began to inspect Heavenly Dew Oasis. He had already seen the acupuncture trees, they were at the periphery. But he had to enter the formation to observe the lake water within it. Heavenly Dew Oasis not only had a lot of water resources, they were of various types. Commonly seen were delicate springs, jade toad drool, bitter fragrance water. More rare ones included divine strength water, black white water, and others. There was a huge quantity of GU materials, with immortal materials of all kinds. For example, even though divine strength water was a type of water, it contained strength path Dao marks, it was a rank 6 strength path immortal material in the market. In Mortal Fables, divine strength water had a lot of names. Often, when mortal heroes drink this water, they would gain divine strength and be able to defeat evil GU masters. And because this divine strength water was an immortal material, drinking it without food path methods would kill even a GU immortal just because of its strength path Dao marks. Therefore, the mortals of these stories often die themselves after taking revenge. The most important one was black white water. Black white water was a rank 7 immortal material, it was situated at the center of Heavenly Dew Oasis. During daytime, the black white water would be white, during night, it would be black. Placing the black white water there while exposed to the sky, as the days and nights cycle, the black white water would create drops of heavenly dew. The heavenly dew was transparent and looked like a droplet, it was round and each drop had the size of a baby's finger. The heavenly dew could not fuse together, droplets could only be placed together but not as one entity. The most valuable thing in heavenly dew oasis was the heavenly dew. It was a rank 8 immortal material. Fang Yuan soon found that this black-white water region had 100 droplets of heavenly dew accumulated here. Ying Wuxie attacked this place but did not reach the center, the heavenly dew that had accumulated for half a year was still here. Fang Yuan smiled as he stored 30 droplets of heavenly dew away without hesitation. This was the hidden rule of the righteous path. Any GU immortal sent to defend the resource points would secretly keep a portion of the resources for their own cultivation needs. Of course, this was not an outright rule. But basically, all the super forces allowed this. Being stationed outside to defend resource points was a tough job, it had risks. Without this benefit, who would want to do it? In the 500 years of his previous life, Fang Yuan had learned about these things. Taking 30 drops of heavenly dew was the limit already, this was a valuable sum, it was 3 months of heavenly dew oasis, accumulation. If he took more, Fang clan would not be happy, they would accuse him of embezzlement. It is a pity that the 9 heavens shattered, only black heaven and white heaven are left. If the 9 heavens were around, according to this heavenly dew oasis location, this would not be black-white water but rank 8 immortal material 9-colored water. 9-colored water faces the sky and experiences the 9 different heavens continuously, with the direct rays of the stars, moon, and sun from the 9 heavens, it would produce a drop of 9 heavenly star sweat every year from this 9-colored water. 9 heavenly star sweat was a rank 9 immortal material, it was one of the 3 waters of heaven and earth, along with myriad being creation water and rising falling tide water. It had extreme value, it was rare even among rank 9 immortal materials. Different from the 3 fires of heaven and earth, the 9 heavenly star sweat of the 3 waters of heaven and earth had already vanished. Because 7 of the 9 heavens were already gone, only 2 heavens were left. After looking at all the resources, Fang Yuan sighed in admiration, this heavenly dew oasis was truly one of Western Desert's top 10 oases, he looked at the formation again. He was tasked to guard this place, he obviously could use the formation. Fang clan gave him the methods to utilize this formation, Fang Yuan tried activating them and comprehending the workings of this formation. He had formation path Grand Master attainment level, he also had wisdom path methods, he quickly gained some knowledge. Compared to Kai clan, Fang clan's defensive formation at Heavenly Dew Oasis was not impressive. Thus, Fang clan spent a lot of effort to place the acupuncture trees here as a form of defense. Fang clan was like Kai clan, they excelled in formation path. But the difference was, Fang clan excelled in immortal GU houses, because immortal GU houses were a type of mobile immortal formation. Meanwhile, Kai clan excelled in creating immobile formations, that was the mainstream of formation path. And most importantly, Kai clan had a formation path Great Grand Master, Kai Kuyu. Formation path GU immortals who had Great Grand Master attainment level could use natural Dao marks to set up immortal formations. Not only could they save on immortal GU, they could even use the environment to create strong defenses while helping the development of the resource point, increasing its yield. Fang clan set up this formation in Heavenly Dew Oasis, they used many immortal GU. But the formation's main purpose was to increase the Heavenly Dew production, it was not focused on defense. But Fang clan's specialty is very strong too. They own multiple immortal GU houses, not only do they have high mobility, they can use the immortal GU houses to fight rank 8 enemies with just rank 6 GU immortals. If I am Fang clan's leader, in this situation, I would gather my people to attack one enemy. By displaying a fierce demeanor, we can intimidate and deter the rest of the Western Desert Righteous Path forces. But they would need to pay close attention to the extent of their actions, if they go overboard, they would be in trouble. If they do too little, it would deter no one. Fang Yuan was thinking about Fang clan and Western Desert's Righteous Path forces now. He had to cultivate during this period of time, processing his gains and modifying killer moves, it did not matter if he was in Western Desert or Southern Border. Time was quite pressing, very soon, Southern Border's Righteous Path would come to agreement, they would come after him. Flipping heaven sand sea, huge sand waves were rising and falling continuously. Under the rays of the moonlight, white sand looked like snow, sand waves rose to tens of feet with a grand aura, it was a famous sight in Western Desert. Fang clan's GU immortals had secretly gathered, approaching Treasure Moon Oasis within the Sand Sea. According to the intel, Dong clan's Dong Lu Chen has already arrived. Let's go, Fang Di Chong transmitted secretly. Good, Fang Gong burst out with overwhelming aura, attacking Treasure Moon Oasis directly. Dong Lu Chen flew up, his rank 8 aura also permeated the area, he shouted with shock and anger, "Fang Gong, I did not approach you for trouble, but you are actually attacking me." Fang Gong roared, "Cut the crap, let's fight." The battle of two rank 8 GU immortals caused thunderous sounds and intense explosions. Dong Lu Chen was in a passive spot, he was quite restricted as he had to defend the Treasure Moon Oasis behind him. He blocked Fang Gong's attacks as his expression sank. "Fang Clan, just you wait. You dare to attack the territory of Righteous Path forces, you have broken the rules, in just a while, the whole of Western Desert's super forces will inflict judgment upon you." "Is that so? Didn't your Dong clan spread the rumor that Treasure Moon Oasis was once attacked by our clan? Since you do not have evidence, we are so kind as to come here and give you some evidence." A strangely shaped broken immortal GU house flew into the sky, Fang Dichang's voice came from within it. Dong Lu Chen became even more furious. "Fang Dichang, you are a mere rank 7, you dare." Before he finished, Fang Clan's immortal GU house unleashed an immortal killer move. Dong Lu Chen's anger vanished all of a sudden, replaced by deep shock and fear. "This immortal killer move, don't tell me." "Exactly, it is the killer move that Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable used to create his path, Steel Dao." Fang Dichang answered. "No," Dong Lu Chen growled, he turned to look at Treasure Moon Oasis. Due to the killer move Steel Dao, the countless natural Dao marks of Treasure Moon Oasis became exposed, they were either long or short, most were lines that weaved together, forming some sort of mysterious shape. Some were like webs while others were like balls of thread, accumulating into a mountain. Dong Lu Chen tried to stop them but it was futile. He watched with a furious expression as these Dao marks were all drawn into that theft path immortal GU house that Fang Clan owned. This was the power of the killer move Steel Dao. By activating this move, one could directly steal Dao marks. In the past, after creating this move, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable gathered enough foundation to trigger a qualitative change, officially establishing the new GU path, Theft Path. Chapter 1780 Crime Scene. Fang Clan's assault shook the whole of Western Desert's Righteous Path. Undeniably, Steel Dao was a powerful weapon. At once, the entirety of Western Desert's Righteous Path forces were intimidated. Fang Yuan soon received word of this battle, the details were very specific, there was a video of the entire battle. This was naturally given to him by Fang Clan. Fang Clan has a Thieving Heaven true inheritance. Fang Yuan was quite shocked at this discovery. Fang Yuan soon thought of Great Thief Immortal GU. He had obtained this Immortal GU from Fang Clan. According to rumors, Fang Clan had obtained this Great Thief Immortal GU by chance. A lone immortal who joined them had contributed it. It seems that back then, Fang Clan not only obtained Great Thief Immortal GU, they also obtained clues to a Thieving Heaven true inheritance. The foundation of a super force, truly. Fang Yuan shook his head. Like Wu Yong's clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building and Fang Clan's theft path immortal GU house as well as the killer move Steel Dao, these trump cards were all able to rapidly change the disadvantageous situation that they were facing. Undeniably, this is a huge deterrence to the other clans. Fang Clan's situation is going to change because of this. It seems that in my previous life, this was the reason why the entire Righteous Path relented. Steel Dao could steal Dao marks. Once used, it could destroy a natural resource point. The main foundation of Righteous Path forces were these scattered resource points. Different from destroying these resource points, Steel Dao had an immediate effect. Its effect could directly cripple the resource point without any way of recovering it. With Fang Clan's assault, Dong Clan's first Supreme Elder Dong Lu Chen remained unscathed but the entire Treasure Moon Oasis was wiped from existence. If they truly forced Fang Clan to use this method without restraint, which Western Desert Righteous Path force could handle their retaliation? Even a rank 8 GU immortal like Dong Lu Chen could not do anything. Fang Yuan praised Fang Dichang's decision internally. He chose a strong enemy and attacked the location guarded by Dong Lu Chen. This was a strong deterrence to the other forces. At the same time, he did not go overboard. Treasure Moon Oasis was a mid-sized resource point, it was not even a large resource point. It bore a special meaning to Dong Lu Chen because his beloved wife was buried there, so every year at a certain time, he would go there and mourn her death. As a result, Dong Clan's losses were not severe, while Dong Lu Chen was not particularly angry. Only the Dao marks were lost, his wife's grave was not touched at all. They really had a good grasp of the situation. By making full use of this battle result, they not only deterred Western Desert's Righteous Path, they also sought to intimidate me. Fang Yuan held the Information Path Mortal GU in his hand as he laughed coldly. In this GU, Fang Dichong also mentioned the heavenly dew. He said, there should be very little heavenly dew lost from the battle, only about 10 droplets. He asked Fang Yuan to look around, he might find the remaining 20 somewhere. Fang Yuan had taken 30 droplets earlier, he reported it to Fang Clan as the loss from the battle. Ying Wuxie had caused it when he attacked. In the future, production might also fall. This was just an excuse, both him and Fang Clan knew the truth clearly. But Fang Clan did not accommodate to this, they warned him in a subtle manner, don't go overboard, 10 droplets is enough, hand over the remaining 20. Heavenly dew was a rank 8 immortal material after all, Fang Clan did not want to give up this profit. Of course, they were also trying to suppress Fang Yuan. You had just joined us recently but already wants to keep some profits for yourself. Control yourself. Look at this battle, our Fang Clan is still very strong, you should consider the gains and losses carefully. This was the true meaning of Fang Dichang's letter to Fang Yuan. Conversation among righteous path members was usually very implicit, it was not straightforward like the demonic path. But the truth is, this shows how weak you are now. Fang Yuan was crystal clear in his mind. In this battle, Fang Clan did not use any other immortal GU house, it showed that during the Battle of Divine Bean Palace, their immortal GU houses were heavily damaged. Fang Clan used the Theft Path immortal GU house that was clearly damaged. The Steel Dao killer move they used had rank 8 power, but Fang Yuan could see that this move had a huge burden on the immortal GU house, it could not be used extensively. And it was not stable. If the killer move was stable and could be used often, Fang Clan would have used it long ago, they would not have waited until now. Steel Dao was the trump card of Fang Clan, they did not want to use it but there was no choice. Very likely, Fang Clan did not have the complete Thieving Heaven true inheritance, or maybe, they had not grasped it fully yet. Because Fang Clan was most numerous in Formation Path GU Immortals, they excelled in Formation Path, they were not familiar with Theft Path. Fang Yuan first replied to Fang Dichong. In the letter, he wrote that he found the 20 droplets of heavenly dew, he had been too careless earlier. Next, a dark light flashed in his eyes, it is time to take action personally. Immortal killer move, Jade Flow Pearl. During this period, he had gained control of Heavenly Dew Oasis formation, he even set up a formation inside this formation, not only could it create the illusion that he was inside defending the place, it could also conceal Fang Yuan's actions. Jade Flow Pearl was also modified successfully, the activation speed was faster now and the aura leaked at the destination was smaller, it was not as eye-catching as before. Fang Yuan arrived at Burning Firefly Desert, this place was filled with weird rocks and few plants, there was a type of insect that filled this place, called burning fireflies. There was an endless number of burning fireflies here, among them were a vast number of burning firefly GU, from rank 3 to 5. Burning Firefly GU was a type of Fire Path GU, it was quite high grade, with rank 3 being the lowest, but it had never produced a rank 6 GU before. This was a mid-sized resource point of Fang Clan. Fang Clan set up an immortal formation here as well, they used the Burning Firefly GU to create a Fire Path environment to raise a lot of other Fire Path GU worms here. A rank 6 Fang Clan GU immortal was defending this place. Fang Yuan used Familiar Face to disguise himself, he directly attacked. He killed this Fang Clan GU immortal and tossed the corpse, before destroying the formation and slaughtering all the GU worms, the entire desert was turned into ruins before he left. Worth mentioning was that he used Earth Path methods. Within Langya Blessed Land's inventory, there were several Earth Path immortal GU, Fang Yuan also had a large number of Earth Path killer moves. After doing all that, he returned to Heavenly Dew Oasis. Over on Fang Dichang's end, he smiled after receiving Fang Yuan's reply, but soon learned about the nightmare that his clan's Burning Firefly Desert was destroyed. In an instant, this Fang Clan Wisdom Path Great Grand Master was dazed. His joyful emotion was gone. A member of Fang Clan died. Burning Firefly Desert was not important, the important thing was, Fang Clan's GU Immortal died. All along, Fang Clan had always lacked GU Immortals, compared to the other Western Desert Righteous Path forces, they were disadvantaged. Only after bringing in Old Ghost Bai Jun, Eagle Concubine, and Suan Bu Jin recently did the situation change. But these three were outsiders, they did not have Fang Clan bloodline, it was not the same. Fang Clan's GU Immortal died, even though they were just rank 6, it was a severe loss to the whole of Fang Clan. Fang Gong placed great importance on this, he quickly discussed the situation with Fang Dichong. After a short conversation, Fang Gong stayed to guard the headquarters while Fang Dichong went out to find the culprit at the scene of the crime in Burning Firefly Desert. The murderer killed our clan's GU Immortal. They even destroyed all of the desert's resources. This is clearly not a crime of greed, this is totally an act of revenge. Fang Dichong used his wisdom path method. He surveyed the scene and quickly saw indications of the ruthless thoughts, hatred, and angry emotions of the culprit behind this incident. Earth Path method. Is it Dong Clan's revenge? Fang Dichong thought of this as Dong Clan specialized in Earth Path, but he soon shook his head. If Dong Clan did it, this is way too obvious. There must be other righteous path forces trying to take advantage of the situation. The situation is bad. Fang Dichang's expression turned grim. He was a wisdom path great-grand master. He had made many deductions regarding the consequences of using Steel Dao to intimidate the Western Desert righteous path forces. Among them was one possible situation. Someone in Western Desert's righteous path forces might want to provoke him but would not dare to do it publicly. They would hide behind the scenes and use some devious plan. Fang Yuan acted very cleanly. He only left behind the clues that he wanted them to find. There was another element. Fang Clan lacked information path GU Immortals. Fang Dichong was a wisdom path immortal. He did not cultivate information path. If an information path GU Immortal came here, they might be able to find some traces or evidence that lead to Fang Yuan. But Fang Clan could not. Even if Fang Clan invited an information path expert to help, they could not approach the other righteous path forces. That meant that there was little choice available. If they invited lone and demonic immortals, the person would need rank 7 cultivation level. But as part of the righteous path, Fang Clan did not have a good relationship with lone and demonic immortals. Even lone immortals with decent relationship or demonic immortals who have transactions with them secretly might not cultivate information path. Fang Dichong did not find any valuable clues. When he returned to the headquarters, his expression was very dark. Western Desert's righteous path soon got news of this. Immediately, a rank 8 expert went to ask Dong Lu Chen. Dong Lu Chen heard this and became very stupefied. He breathed in deeply as he felt deep anger rising. He cursed internally, which bastard is trying to harm my Dong Clan? Fang Clan has Steel Dao, but they did not go overboard and target our giant resource points. Yet this bastard killed their Fang Clan's GU Immortal. That is going too far. Damn it. This person used Earth Path methods and I am an Earth Path GU Immortal. My Dong Clan specializes in Earth Path too. They are trying to frame us. So devious and vicious, yet I cannot retort to them. Dong Lu Chen could barely contain the anger and annoyance in his heart. He could not go around shouting that he was not the culprit. Firstly, nobody was publicly accusing him. Even if they suspected him, wouldn't he be showing weakness by declaring innocence? Earlier, Fang Clan destroyed one of Dong Clan's mid-sized resource points. If he shouted about his innocence now, wouldn't it show that he was afraid of Fang Clan? That would not only taint Dong Lu Chen's reputation, the whole of Dong Clan's prestige would be affected. Thus, even though Dong Lu Chen hated Fang Yuan and wanted to declare his innocence, towards the rank 8 expert who asked him, he could only snort. This feels great, I am very angry. But who did this to them? I will definitely give them a huge reward, tear them to shreds. 1. Hee. The rank 8 expert replied with a meaningful answer. Dong Lu Chen's feelings felt even worse now. Hee your mother. Am I having an easy time? My Dong Clan's territory is bordered with Fang Clan. They were pushed aside so they attacked my clan to intimidate us all. This time, Fang Clan's GU Immortal died. If they retaliate now, my Dong Clan will face the greatest danger. 1. The bracketed words are his inner thoughts.